digital pepper remains, so all the plants grow.
Now all the digital flowers will grow.
That's how you get them in fucking Sonic 2.
I really haven't played that much.
Craig.
That's okay.
Craig is-
I am not here to judge.
This fucking recording system actually managed to shit itself completely on the last episode of the recording, and I then had to piece together the episode from 7 different sources in order to get it to work.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, which is why the one about the fourth ed Chaos Codex Chaos is the sound quality is really bad because I've had to piece it together because this fucking bear.
You know what that is? That's literally audio forensics.
Yes.
Jeez, Craig is a murderer.
18 fucking hours it took me.
Jesus, dude.
So fuck you, Craig.
Yeah, fuck you, Craig.
Fucking.
I say it quietly so he's not mad at me. Right, should we do a sync?
Yes, I'll do that. In 3, 2, 1. Everybody say now.
No.
No.
I'm used to clapping, so I'm sorry.
Well, I'll do a 3 then a clap.
Oh,
1, 2, 3.
There we go.
No.
Cool.
Perfecto. Now, clap.
Right. Now,
Say the word clap.
as this isn't my show, I'll now take a step back and let David take over because otherwise I will just start running everything because I have problems.
Well, I thought we'd start with a bit of a cold open.
Ooh, fancy.
Allow me to. Yes.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. She discovered the key. There is proof that we wound it. So repeat after me. If it bleeds, we can kill it. I will now take a stand. No? Okay.
I don't really listen to Lord of the Rings.
Nope.
2 or 3 men out there at the most. Am I the only one who's awake? I don't believe in goblins or ghosts. Fucking lizard. Give me a break. Stop shaving. You don't have a beard. I'll stop now.
I don't know what it was.
It's all yours now, David.
Honestly, your reactions have been perfect.
Take charge. It's all yours.
No, I'm letting the whole thing run. Yeah.
Thankfully, I have to edit this.
Ah.
Go on, all yours. I'll let you start. I think we've killed him.
Which all means we're watching Predator.
Dead.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Fluffenbusters. I'm Mr. D. I'm not joined by Mr. White as he's off in his, what we call it, his laboratory, working on a very special project of his own. But instead, we have 2 very special guests today. I'm joined by the Fluffenmaster himself, Mr. Gruff, aka Adam, the other Adam.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. 2 or 3 men out there at the most.
And, to my great delight, it's Snipe from Snipe Web.
Hi. Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my delight. We picked Predator before I listened to the show you did on the main channel with the guys, and afterwards it just felt rude not to invite you, to be honest, because
it would have been, and I would have cancelled you on Twitter. It would have been horrific. So it's honestly in your best interest to invite me here.
To be fair, much like the Predator, we are invisible on Twitter. So,
I mean, I wish I was. Fucking hate it there. I'm scrolling Twitter and I see you guys kind of silhouetted, and then there's a flash of yellow eyes, and then you disappear into the night.
Then you find yourself reading an article all about a dwarf collection of dick jokes. It's like, what? How did I get here?
It's perfect.
Coming soon to Amazon from AD Nickel Productions, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh. With only 47 adverts in it, it's fine.
Welcome to Dick Joke Hour. Today we're going to talk about goblin dicks.
Oh, welcome to Dick Joke Hour. Might be hard to keep up, but trust me.
Probably need to get a few stiff ones in.
Oh yeah. Get a stiff drink or two. Dick. Yeah, I'm completely lost. Like all pun. I was like, urethra.
It's a hard way to pay the bills, and sometimes the market just goes limp.
Happens to the best of us.
But anyway, we are gathered here today. Well,
in holy
there's a lot of
matrimony,
steroids
because we're
involved.
married now. I love my husbands. My husbands, Adam Dafford and Predator 1 from 1987. My esteemed husbands that I love. If it was possible to marry a movie, I would marry, like, I don't know, half of Arnold Schwarzenegger's discography. Filmography. God. Oh my God. I want him to release a Christmas album. Please, Arnold.
It would all be Swiss Alps music. It'd be amazing.
He's done a few films with Jackie Chan now, and Chan is a major recording artist in the East, so I could see collaborating in that way.
I want to hear Arnold Schwarzenegger singing, like, I don't even know. I hate Christmas, so I don't know any Christmas songs.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Well, didn't they do that in fucking Batman and Robin? Or where he played Mr. Freeze, which I love how they had to add to Mr. Freeze's like story of like 2 times Olympic decathlete and like award winning. It's like, that's not what decathletes look like, dickhead. Have you ever seen a decathlete? They are not the Hulk. Jesus Christ.
It's like saying famed ballerina Brock Lesnar. It just doesn't make sense.
Brock Lesnar could twirl, let me tell you that much.
I mean, have you seen him do his little dance with the beatbox?
I think I have, but I blanked it out.
That was unexpected. Hilarious and unexpected.
The only dancing I've seen Brock Lesnar do is getting out of court dates.
It's true, and you should say it.
The man's got a weird baby face, and he freaks me out, so I'm happy to see him fall.
I think so. I think it was Remley showed me a picture of his son the other day, and I was like, "Wow, that's freaky." It's a copy and paste job, I swear to God.
That might have been his daughter, actually, because she shares a lot of her dad's genetics.
I might be remiss remembering.
And it's not being harsh, but she does resemble him facially.
Well, now we know who. And now we know who to get to play Bane in the upcoming Batman film. Then
Bane.
She can play his daughter. Bane canonically has a daughter now.
He does? Yeah. Oh, I haven't kept up with a lot of comics. I've been kind of like cooled on Bane ever since he killed Alfred like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I've been like, Bane, darling, I'm sorry. I just don't see this working out.
See, what you do with that is you ignore everything that's happened.
You can stop there. Literally. with just comics in general. I've been reading comics since I was 13 years old.
I'm not talking about comics. I'm just talking in general. You ignore everything and just live in the void.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I'll just go live in limbo.
That works.
I firmly believe that Bane's story ended at the end of Gail Simone's Secret Six.
Oh, Gail Simone. Can we have a moment to just like worship her, please?
She's so lovely.
I love her so much.
She put a post out recently about how she was so nervous when she was scared to meet all these comic legends that she'd been a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
And almost every one of them, she got dragged to meet them, and they were all lovely. And she was so happy that they weren't assholes.
That they weren't Warren Ellis.
Yeah. Which is just so refreshing, you know?
Yeah.
I do love her. She's so like, I mean, not only is she a fantastic writer, she's a fantastic person as well. So I'm like, oh my God, you're ticking all the boxes for this best person ever.
Oh yeah, I love following her. Her socials are just brilliant to follow.
She is always down to just nerd out, and I love that.
She is, and that's lovely. She's the example of the nerd who made good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because like she is, I love watching people in like my dream job nerd out about things that they're working. I'm like, oh my God. It's like I follow Jorge Jimenez, and because he does a lot of like DC art that's quite fun. And just like he uploads pictures of like him in his like living room, and he's just like, it's full of like Batman statues and shit, and I'm like, yeah, man, that's what you got to do. I love it. It's so fun. It's awesome. But yeah, Predator, I guess, is a movie or whatever. Like, what?
Well, I was going to hit there with Batman. I've just been reading Absolute Batman because he's an absolute
I've heard
bat
it's
unit.
fantastic. I need to read that.
It's actually good. I didn't expect it.
I was really worried about the Absolute thing, but having read the preview issue that DC did to tie off the previous Absolute Power thing they did and lead into this, it's a nice concept. And as a first mission statement for the relaunch, Absolute Batman is really interesting.
I've seen some of the pages like for it, kind of like not the leaked ones, but like, you know, like comic preview and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm currently reading through Boy Wonder, which love the art style, really like the story. I was really impressed.
It's a fascinating story, that one.
Yeah. I mean, I love how they draw Jason. Because I mean, obviously, yeah, I have 7 Jason Todds on my desk right now, and 1 Miguel O'Hara. So yeah. But like, and I'm just like, it's really, and I love seeing Damian written well.
Yes,
because he's so easy just to be a murder baby, and I'm like, I mean, I appreciate that's kind of what he is, but
he can also be more than that, which is
that's yeah, exactly. That's what I like about it, and just kind of him kind of sticking his feelers out and trying to reassess his priorities and what matters to him now in the family environment. I'm just like, I literally, this is all I want. This is perfect. I love Damian.
And you know what else I love? The fact that they've made a point of saying that Steph was a Robin now.
I love
that.
They
brought that back because
I love that
because I always loved the character of Stephanie Brown when she was spoiler. Then when she died, I was really annoyed because it felt kind of a cheap way to do things.
Yeah.
When she came back, I have her Batgirl run. I adored that run because it was so fresh, even whether they pushed Cass off to the side.
Well, Cass is getting her own comic book series.
I
now.
know.
I cannot wait for that.
I've got it on pre-order because I'm so excited.
Oh, I love Cass so much.
Yeah.
Like when McFarlane announced her figure, I literally was like, I'm pre-ordering it, and it was sold out everywhere. So I had to get it off AliExpress. Because I'm a super fan and don't care. Apparently.
The thing is, I really loved Batgirls. Seeing those two and Babs together, that was great. It was a really nice dynamic. It's one I've been wanting to see them do.
Yeah.
And to go full circle, of course, Gail Simone's Bird of Prey run was absolutely spot on.
Absolutely.
I need to read that. There's so many things that I need to read.
The weird thing is that Birds of Prey run laid so much stuff out now that's just taken for granted. Because before that, well, even before Gail came on, when Chuck Dixon was writing it, the two of them as writers did so much with the concept of the Birds of Prey and Barbara and I've forgotten her name. Dinah.
I never heard it said, so I always pronounce it Dina.
which we just take for granted now. It's just how things are.
Oh, in the video game Gotham Knights, which I am the #1 apostle of, and I've chosen my words very directly. There's loads of just really in-depth Easter eggs in that, like, because you've got Barbara, you've got Tim, you've got Jason and Dick, and like just the little emails they get. Like you get emails from Jason's therapist.
Oh, that's cool.
Like remember to practice mindfulness and like that kind of thing. I'm like, that's awesome. That's something you don't get in comics, which is seeing a character heal from trauma. This is really cool.
Yeah.
And Barbara's like, it goes into her photographic memory, and like she gets emails from Dina, and like there's like a photo pinned to the wall of like her and Dina and Helena, and I'm like, oh my god. There's like a picture of Tim with Connor. Is it Connor or John? I can never fucking tell.
It's Connor.
It's Connor, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like on the computer in the corner, and there's like a photo of Jason and Roy like near the where you mess with the bat cycle and stuff. And I'm like, there's so many little things, and there's like a Black Canary poster and all these little things, and I'm like, this is so fucking.
You're making me want to replay the Arkham games now, because I only got about halfway through City before I didn't go any further than that. Not for any great reason, because I loved Asylum. And I have all the Arkham games.
Yeah.
I just haven't played past like the Mr. Freeze Active City.
Mm.
So I need to go back and do that. So now you make me think I
Yeah.
probably need to replay the whole series now.
I mean, it's the Arkham series. It's really not a bad
I
thing to
know.
replay.
It really isn't. And I do want to give Knights a go on their own merits now that they're removed from their troublesome launches, shall we say?
Yeah, I mean the biggest problem. I mean, I'm currently kind of writing like a behemoth of a fucking video about it, and literally most of the problems were just fan expectation being just fans being stupid.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And like it's like they literally are like Batman is dead. It starts with a code black in the trailers, and like that's literally the opening cutscene, and then it's him hitting the code black. And well, I don't really want to spoil it, but basically that's what, like, you know, Babs, Tim, Jason, and Dick are doing. That they all basically have to come together to hold the fort for Gotham, but not let the criminals know that the Bat is dead, and like dealing with all of the emotional kind of like the grieving and the kind of the pressure, and like from every character is written so well. And I'm like, this is honestly, it's probably my favorite interpretation of Jason Todd. And I also like I am so viciously maternal over Tim Drake in this game. I will physically fight you in the street. As the car park me, prick, I fucking will die for Tim Drake.
I think because Batman Nightfall, the old comic, when that was coming out, that was my beginnings of not buying comics just to read, but buying comics because I understood there was a bigger story in play, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that was my first real experience of Batman, to be honest, outside of the cartoons and the films and the 60s show.
Well, I think
the 60s show.
I think Nightfall started before animated series started, didn't it? 91.
Yes, it did. Yeah,
well, it wasn't because Batman Returns was 91, I think, and what was it? The animated series was, I think, 92 or 3.
Yeah. So Nightfall began before,
and it was after the death of Superman stuff. So.
See, I never really was into a lot of DC stuff. Batman was that was my special interest as a kid, and like I was very much more into X-Men, and like those were the comics I collected. Like from 13 to like 21, I collected the monthly collector's edition amalgam kind of stories.
Yeah. But not actually amalgam.
But not actually, and then like there'd occasionally be one in there, and then I literally stopped collecting comics because Greg Land was drawing the current
understandable,
and I was like, I didn't really understand why I hated his art, and then I kind of was like, he's tracing, and I kind of put two and two together on my own, and then I googled it, and like there were literally like blogs devoted to why is this prick still getting high, and I'm like, oh my god, especially coming out of like, because Greg Land started penciling a lot of the stories I was reading post an astonishing X-Men run, which is honestly the best run I've ever read, which was Joss Whedon and John Cassidy.
Yes,
rest his soul. My heart broke when that poor man. Like, oh my god,
I'm the same. That run is
immaculate. I love it.
Yeah,
I love that run so much, and like, and then going from that to a Greg Land pencil story, I don't care what it is. Greg Land's art makes everything so much worse. Because like in Gotham Knights, you collect like old comic book covers, and there's one that he did in like 1999, 2000, which was Nightwing on a trapeze with I think it's Babs, and I'm like, this is before he started tracing porn, and he can draw.
Oh yeah,
that's fascinating. It hurts, but
that's what really sucks. I'm like, mate, look, you just go back to doing what you were doing. It is 10 times better than tracing Triple H and porn faces. What are you doing? Oh, I get so fucking heated about this.
No, it's understandable.
And the worst thing is that he's normally paired with really good writers.
I know, and it actively damages the story.
I mean, he did the art for most of Kieran Gillen's Uncanny X-Men.
Oh my god, Kieran Gillen, now there's a man who gets X-Men. But Greg Land's art makes it suck. And you're like, god damn. Oh no.
You just kind of want somebody to go back and redo it with like Art Adams artwork or something, don't you? Just to make it worthwhile having.
I mean,
the thing that hurts is one of my favorite artists is a guy by the name of Stepien Sejic.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
I know, right?
I love that guy.
Yeah.
His erotic art is fantastic.
Yes, but it's also very well written as well. That's the kicker.
Yeah.
And his wife does her own stuff. She's got a strip called Punderworld that follows
Oh,
Hades and Persephone. But
I think
it's
I've seen bits of that.
but it's linked to the mythology of what Stepyan's doing.
Mm,
So they're actually interlinked,
I like that.
which
It's
is
like
great. But
oh,
his
I just
style, because he did so many
mm.
covers for both Marvel and DC, but he
He
only
did
did
he did the Harley Quinn run that I still need to read.
yes, Harleen.
Yeah.
I have the issues and the hardback of that because I
Oh, I need
freaking love it.
to read that because like literally anything I've seen from it, I'm like, this is written well and it's
Mm.
beautiful. I
The
absolutely love
only
looking
thing
at it.
about Harleen that hurts is the knowledge that he's now completely creator owned in his works. So we'll never get his Isley or Selena sequels, which he's posted bits of artwork for ideas he's been toying around with over the years.
Mm.
And because I do his Patreon and I'm a fiend for downloading artwork whenever I can find it just for my folders. So I have archives of shit all over the place.
Speaking as an artist, we love it when you do that. Don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah,
Because you wouldn't be like, I found this on Pinterest. So
no,
it's fine.
I have a folder just called Sejic, and I've categorized it by store, by kind of what the art's for.
Yeah, no, that's
So,
like actual artists. Trust me, we love it.
yeah, but he did all these pieces where he was just exploring concepts of Poison Ivy and how she relates to Swamp Thing and Selena and her relationship with Bruce and whatnot. And there's some really good stuff in for just these little vignettes, and you just think, oh man, I'm so sad we're not going to get more of this because. But then his creator owned stuff is really good. I mean, even the stuff he's abandoned because it didn't sell, like
Yeah.
Ravine, which it was supposed to be an 11 series graphic novel story. He only got 2 out because no one bought it, and I think it's great. And I'm gutted he kind of was dispirited by it. But then,
yeah, that's the problem with capitalism and art.
yeah. But then Sunstone is
I've heard very good things.
It's a massive seller for him. A massive seller. It does. I mean, it's been reprinted multiple times and they've done hardback anthology editions. And bear in mind, this only comes out in graphic novel form. You can't buy individual issues.
Yeah.
And it's looking at being a 20-volume series minimum.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's got different arcs for different pairs of characters, and it's a bloody BDSM erotica relationship series. That's just phenomenally well written.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. It's like I am an erotic connoisseur, and that sounds really douchey, and it just sounds like I'm porn brained and trying to excuse it. But like, I find a lot of beauty in eroticism and like BDSM and stuff like that. I think is unfairly malaligned by a lot of society, and people can get very pearl clutchy about it, and it's like that's because what a lot of regular people who don't know much about that, their first introduction was like 50 Shades of Grey, which is a massive misunderstanding of what that community is. And then anything previous, it was like you'd see them like, especially in 90s movies and 80s movies, where you'd see someone dressed as like, all in leather, like, and a ball gag, and it's like, they had mental issues, and it's just like a shorthand for that. So it's obviously, and like it kind of makes me feel like it's the serious kind of version of like what Oglaf does as a webcomic, if you know what that is.
Yes, Oglaf is on my I visited.
That's on my bookmarks bar.
Yes,
I fucking love Oglaf so much because it's like it doesn't feel dirty or like seedy.
It's done in fun.
It's fun. It's like, guess what? Sex is fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah.
Let's make fun of it. And it's such a refreshing kind of take, and like to have like actual BDSM relationships with like, actual ins and outs of and that kind of stuff. And it's like, yes, this is what it is. It's not just some thing that you kind of like go to a dirty bar. It's like, I remember my parents, because I have like, I've lost count, I think like 16, 17 piercings in my ears and one in my nose. And one of them I went to get, and my parents gave me a lift down back when I still had parents. It's okay. They were bad. And they were expecting this dark, grungy, like end of the alleyway kind of thing. A guy smoking like 4 cigarettes, and one of them's maybe a weed cigarette. And like I walk into this sterile place where this guy's like putting on gloves, and everything is fresh, and they were like, they were completely thrown through a loop. And then he pops it through really quick, and my parents were like, is that it? And I'm like, what did you think? Do you think I'd be lying on this table for 5 minutes? Like, do you think he'd get the hand drill out and just
Slowly
start
push
going?
it through.
Yeah, it's like, what
Millimeters
did
at
you...
a time.
Mirror!
Yeah. Mirror! You have to understand the nerves were completely severed. And I walk out with a septum piercing. Oh, I need to watch that movie again. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, back on track.
Anyway, so what movie we got? Terminator?
We're going to watch Terminator Dark Fate.
I'll kill you.
I'll
Please.
deserve it.
Yes. Yes, you will. Oh, my God.
Anyway, folks, we're gathered here today to bear witness to Predator and have a yammer over it. We'll possibly commentate on the film, but more likely just digress and ramble as we recount exciting stories about one of the finest action movies ever committed to film, and marvel at what is, frankly, a masterpiece, especially given the circumstances of the film's making.
Mm-hmm.
So sit back. We're currently at 8 seconds into the video where I've paused it, and let's hit play. And we turn back.
I'm just psyched because I remember when... Was it the 30th anniversary? I can't remember. There was one playing of it in a cinema in Nottingham.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there, and just seeing it on the big screen was like a tick off my bucket list. It was life-changing.
I saw it a few months back when Cineworld did a re-release of it.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
It was great.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never seen it on big screen before. And in fact, it was one of the first of those, because I'd missed a lot of the big re-releases from the last few years, like Blade Runner and Terminator 2 and Alien and Aliens, which really annoys me to this day, but my health being my health, so
yeah.
But being able to watch Predator in on the big screen was an experience.
Oh yeah. Also, one criticism of this film, I don't like how it starts out with the Predator spaceship. I wish it hadn't done that, so it was a bit more of a surprise.
I can get that.
Is there any cut of this film that doesn't have that?
I don't know.
No, I don't think there is.
I don't think so.
When I got this on DVD way back in the mists of time, it was actually, do you remember when you got the Alien Quadrology box, and then you got the Predator duology box or whatever it was called?
Oh
to go alongside it. So that was the DVD I got.
I can see them on my shelf right now.
Yep, there you go.
Mine is downstairs.
I remember watching it, and I was like, "What?" I did not remember the spaceship at all. It was the weirdest thing. So I don't know if there was a cut of this that didn't have it, or if it was just ITV for whatever reason.
ITV were like, "Oh, we can't. We have to show this like basically as kids are getting up for school, so they can't see spaceships." Ooh, can't do that.
Yeah. Oh, I love this music. This music though.
The music in this is fun. Alan Silvestri.
Yes.
There we go. Literally timing. Like that man. Like I remember, if you guys have ever seen Death Becomes Her, he did the music for that, and it is incredible. Well, that makes that movie so much better, and it's already pretty damn good.
Well, this kind of leads into, I was talking before we started about my theory about why Predator and Terminator and Alien have persisted, or why they made such an impact.
Because they fuck. Move on. No,
but also the music.
Oh, the music! It's timeless, isn't it?
Yeah. Think how many of, because they weren't the only films of their genres during this period.
No,
but they were the ones that had everything just hits right, and the music is so important to all of them.
Just a do. It's like such a creeping kind of terror. It's perfect.
I might add RoboCop in there as well for its music. But so many films of this era used a lot of synth, and they just feel so 80s. And in a way, because these films tend to have quite big orchestral scores, and the music feels like it's had work put into it, sorry to say, it makes them feel a bit more timeless and a bit more epic. You feel more invested right from the start.
No, absolutely. It gives it a lot of what's the word? Credence, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah.
But it puts the atmosphere in place. So what happens a lot during this era is people who are using music alongside the film. Why that seems like such a weird and obvious thing to say is that nowadays music is either picked from a pre-existing playlist because it's either going to be recognizable or it's going to convey a part of the story.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
That actually had no right going that hard.
It really didn't.
Yeah.
Honestly, the parts of that film had my brain just going, what are we doing now? But yeah, it's what they used to do is the film would be getting played over a big screen, and then the orchestra would play the music alongside it.
Yeah, like the old theater thing with the guy, the piano in the corner.
Yeah, yeah. Which is that's not how it works anymore. Now it's
best part of the movie.
1, 2, 3. Oi.
Also, can I just say, as a weightlifter, they absolutely spent an hour before that shot pumping to get that level. If anyone doesn't know who doesn't lift weights, that's what's called a pump. You get that on once you've been lifting weights for a while. Your veins come out, your muscles look a bit bigger, you're looking a bit sweaty. Because you see them and they're just acting normally, and it's like, they had like 40-kilo weights on hand for them to do a bunch of quick like butterflies with or something.
Which kind of is part of the legend of this film, that they were all just so competitive about their muscles.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I am naturally anyway, so I feel very represented by this movie.
Yeah. And then you have poor, what's his name? Shane Black.
Shane Black.
Who was just there to give the script some juice and got slapped into a uniform.
To be fair, I really like his performance in this.
Oh yeah, his performance is...
It's great. Didn't he fight really hard to get the Sergeant Rock comic cameo?
I think he did.
I think he fought, because I remember seeing him in an interview talking about how he did that, but also his mother came to the premiere and she stormed out. He was like, I was flinching with the pussy jokes, but then when my character dies, my mother stood up and fucking stormed out of that theater. And she was like, "You're showing me my son dying," and he was like, "Mum."
Oh, that's funny.
I love that. Oh dear,
that's beautiful.
So fun.
It really is.
Shane Black, now famous for Christmas movies.
Yeah,
that's so weird because he was a pioneer in the action genre. Like he directed Lethal Weapon.
Well, he wrote Lethal Weapon because Donna directed that.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the one. I'm getting confused.
Although he did direct the pilot for the TV series of Lethal Weapon.
Oh, didn't he direct Predators as well?
Yeah, he did The Predator.
No, The Predator.
The Predator. That's the one I haven't seen yet because of the controversy.
It's terrible.
And it's a shame because there's bits of it which I like, but it just...
It's like, I liked Prey. I wouldn't watch it again. But I liked the idea of it. And Predators, I was like, this is a fun take. I like Predators. I do quite like it. Yeah. I mean, Stanley Trejo, I love Tio Machete.
Larry Fishburne.
Oh,
anything with Larry Fishburne in.
I love that he's such a nerd as well, Larry Fishburne, and he's just
he's so sweet. What a sweetheart.
He's living his best life because he's got to appear in all of these genre franchises now. You got to think he's working out how to get into Star Wars and Star Trek at some point.
Oh, I really hope he gets into Star Wars. Or you know what? Both. He deserves it. I love that man.
Yeah.
Agreed. It's funny, actually. The first time I ever came across Larry Fishburne, I'll rephrase that. The first time I ever saw Larry Fishburne, I was outside his house. It was Event Horizon.
Yeah,
and it's literally from the week after I saw Event Horizon, he kept turning up in other films.
In other films he wasn't even in. He was in the Spice World movie. All of a sudden, what the hell? No, I'm joking. You are being haunted by Lawrence Fishburne.
Give me the Spice World, the movie.
Oh, he plays the forbidden sixth Spice Girl, Fish Spice.
Because they're Old Spice.
See, now I just want to see Lawrence Fishburne acting against Richard D. Grant, which I don't think they've ever done.
That would be pretty dope.
I would genuinely want to see.
As long as they kissed.
Oh yeah, I need them staring lovingly in each other's eyes.
Just this giant meaty fishbone hand just stroking a tiny British face.
I love it. We need to start a GoFundMe immediately to bribe these actors into doing this.
Adding a new Patreon tier now.
Thank you.
I'm just annoyed that so far, Son of Gary Busey's tier has not been used up.
Yeah.
We have a tier, and it's $1,000 a month, and it's only open to the son of Gary Busey if he decided to get into Warhammer.
If he wants to be like a cool guy who people like a lot, then he should do it.
Yeah.
Also,
sure. I have looked his name up multiple times, but it will not stay in my memory.
It's Jake.
Barry Busey.
Barry Busey.
Could be Larry. I don't know. I'm just guessing. That would be hilarious.
I am sure I saw Barry Busey opening for Queens of the Stone Age at Leeds.
Whether they wanted him there or not.
Oh yeah, I'm Barry Busey. I'm going to get you now with some Liverpudlian stylings of country western songs.
See, I thought I just made up a name. I didn't know that was an actual person. I was like, wow, this fiction of this person is really well developed in your brain. I'm impressed.
Oh no, none of this is real.
Oh my God,
made the entire thing up.
Okay, so compliments. Yeah. Oh my God. Also, I love
compliments to my psychosis.
Yes, nice one. Also, I love how watching on modern TVs, it's so obvious that they cut to like training footage when they're like when they're rappelling. It's like, oh yes, here's all these much smaller men. Because if you're in the military, you don't look like this.
Although you have to think, if they'd offered them the chance, Ventura and Chaves would have been up there. You wouldn't have been
yeah. Absolutely.
Physically restrained them from getting into the choppers. It's like, no, lads, this is a movie. We have stuntmen for that.
He's like, Jesse Ventura. Like, I love the guy, but he is such a strange character.
Yep.
Yeah.
Strange is the word.
Yeah.
I want to know if he was strange before Ventura got cast as him.
I think probably not. I think Blaine was probably like the strong, silent, like big guy. And then they cast like Jesse Ventura, and they were like, fuck it, let's make him crazy. Yeah. I ain't got time to bleed. You know what? Fuck it, we're keeping that in. That's the best thing we've ever seen. That's amazing.
You know what's funny? I found out that scene wasn't supposed to be in the film. They cut it.
Really?
They weren't even going to shoot it. And it was
because they hate things that are good, apparently.
Well, it annoyed Ventura and Chaves because they were the only two members of the cast who are actually veterans.
Yeah, I remember seeing an interview with Chavez. He was talking about how it was like, it's just like being a numb. And I'm like, fuck, yeah, this would have been around the time.
Yeah, but apparently on the day, there was a day where Arnie was very ill, so they couldn't do his scenes. So they just went up to Ventura and Chaves and just said, yeah, we're set up. Do you guys want to do this now? And we have one of the most iconic films in action cinema.
That's the thing. It's like one of the most like quoted things.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, this movie is fantastic for one-liners.
Oh,
and
yeah.
But Jesse Ventura with his whole throat, I ain't got time to bleed. Okay. You know what? I guess you fucking don't. And the fact that he reacts with, okay, is perfect.
Grenades up above him, and it's like,
got time to duck.
Yeah.
Love it. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean,
the stories of Ventura and Schwarzenegger and the shit that
like getting bribing the like paying off the fucking like wardrobe department for the bicep measurements.
Tape measure.
Filling Schwarzenegger's shower up with frogs.
God, which honestly, that sounds really cool, and I would happily shower with a frog. I don't get it.
Yeah, but it wasn't just one frog.
I'd shower with multiple frogs. I don't care. I am committed.
More to point, wherever film, you couldn't guarantee those frogs wouldn't have done very trippy things to you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, true, yeah.
Walk into a shower of frogs. I'm having a bad trip.
The idea of tripping your tits off in the shower actually sounds like it wouldn't be that bad of a thing.
Yeah, you lose it in the shower, you're in a world of hurt. I'm sorry. That was fucking terrible. And
that was perfection. Well done. Well, excellent timing there.
I
was thinking.
Oh, sorry.
Do I start a serious conversation about the use of LSD in mental health? And I thought, nah, fuck it. Frogs just tripping your tits off in the shower. Go on, we'll do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do an Arnie impersonation. Yeah, it was really weird. I've been suffering from depression for a while, and suddenly I got in the shower, and I was like, "What? No, I'm fine now, actually." And then everyone else started showering, and no one had mental illness anymore. I appreciate that is massively reductive.
Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, it was really weird. I got into a shower and shit my balls.
Weird. I love how everyone always overemphasizes his accent, where he's actually got quite a neutral accent by this point in his career.
The weird thing is, apparently they have to redub him in all the German movies because he's got a hick accent.
He's Austrian, And he's kind of like, basically he's got like a West Country accent in German.
Yeah, which I find hilarious.
I'll be back, my lover. Like, and you're just like, oh mate, no.
One of the most distinctive voices in the world. And in his native language, they kind of can't stand it.
Yeah, they're just like, bro, cringe.
It's great.
It's bizarre.
Yeah. And it's weird. For all the stories you heard about Sonny Landham needing a bodyguard for everyone else,
I haven't been able to confirm that. I've been trying to like, I've heard it from a lot of sources, but I've never seen it sourced. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But he's so understated in this. That's the thing. Until the end, where he gets ready to fight the Predator and goes all bug-eyed.
Yeah.
He's incredibly restrained and controlled, which is completely at odds to all the stories you've heard about him.
Yeah, it's like, so did they yell cut and he just started like, I don't know, like backflipping? Like, what's going on here?
You got to wonder if it's the Robin Williams. If it's the Robin Williams thing, where the more serious a film Robin Williams did, the more he'd kind of go off the chain when he wasn't recording, weren't filming. But then when he was doing a more silly film, it was almost like his energy levels were so low that he'd get into quite dark places in between takes. So I wonder, because Schwarzenegger is quite subdued in this, for the majority of the film, the moment the camera's cut, he's just there headbutting walls and eating children.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't been there, honestly?
Yeah.
But yeah,
especially after being in a
sometimes
frog
you just
shower.
get hungry.
Yeah, and when frog shower, LSD frog showers just won't cut it, and,
So you go for a child in LSD, then eat them, see what happens.
Just spraying kids with LSD, like, it adds flavor.
I mean,
whatever you do, don't go stealing cars. You're not fit to drive.
I mean, I have eaten a burrito that's about the weight of a small child before, so.
I thought you were going to say you eat a burrito that was so off that you went on a 4-day trip.
And it cured your depression.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Best fucking burrito ever. I often wonder, would this film have worked with the Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jesus Christ, no.
That thing was awful.
It
was so
bad.
bad.
Was bad.
Yeah.
But it looks like, it reminds me of the Pumpkinhead puppet.
Yeah.
And I mean that in a derogatory manner.
Yeah. I mean, you do feel bad for Van Damme because he clearly thought it was going to be his big break. And then he saw the suit. And then the suit.
And we all know that was Street Fighter, the movie. Absolute masterful piece of cinema.
No, there's a film where everyone was off their tits.
Change the channel! Best Zangief ever.
Oh, yeah.
He also played Max Shrek's son in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
He did.
And Butterfinger in Hudson Hawk, which is a fantastic movie.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Yes.
It's gorgeous. I love that movie.
Hudson Hawk.
I will never understand why Hudson Hawk failed. Hudson Hawk is a fucking brilliant film.
So funny.
Chris Grant and Sandra Barnard as the villains. What's not to love there?
And that guy from Coronation Street who explodes.
Yeah.
Not in Coronation Street, but in Hudson Hawk. Spoiler.
No, every episode of Coronation Street, there's just a guy.
Like, hello, I'm Harold the Exploding Man.
Yeah.
Literally, that's it. And then everyone else goes around fucking, I don't know, shouting slag at each other. I haven't watched TV in a long time.
Yeah. Bruce Willis at his rom-com best, probably, because this was before he got real invested in the action genre, probably.
Yeah,
and
which is funny because he's one of the few action stars who can actually fucking act.
Yeah. It's so funny that he was kind of a critically acclaimed actor before he became John McClane. And that's kind of dominated his career since. Bless him.
Often to his detriment, because it meant that you got all of those Die Hard sequels.
Yeah, oh God, fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But no, I remember like watching him in The Sixth Sense because he acts his ass off in that movie. It's really good. And like I remember people around me, like kids at my school who maybe didn't have older taste, like in Die Hard, like they were like, "Oh my God, he's like really good at acting." It's like, yes, he is. Where have you been, 12-year-old child? You idiot! You fool!
It's also a very good blues band.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which sounds like I'm making a joke there.
No, seriously,
I actually really like his blues band.
I used to have a bit of a hyperfixation on him. He basically did like high school football for a very long time, and he was also in like bands from when he was like 18, which is why he sings in like Hudson Hawk a good bit.
Do you guys remember there was a cartoon he did, Bruno the Spy?
Which is funny because Bruno was his nickname in high school. But no, I don't remember that.
But he actually, I think he did do some singing. He sang the ending theme. Yeah, over the end credits, which was just weird.
Yeah, I mean, hell, if you can do it, do it.
Yeah,
it's impressive. Yeah, maybe not like don't take that advice if you're doing a new Die Hard like at any time past Die Hard like 2, I guess.
I mean, Vengeance is probably
where it
3.
3 was okay.
Yeah.
After that, there was too long a gap, to be honest, and then it just didn't. It didn't feel right. I mean,
no. It felt very kind of like, kids today don't like Die Hard. They need safe spaces and pronouns, and it was like, okay, who was saying that? No one.
Yeah.
Half the people who I know who use pronouns fucking love old action movies and like Bruce Willis movies and shit. What are you talking about?
Because they're right-minded people.
Exactly.
The problem with the Die Hard sequels after 3 is that McClane becomes an active participant in what's going on rather than unwilling. He doesn't get dragged into something. He actively goes out and does something, and that's why for me those sequels never work.
And it's a shame because
Good Day to Die Hard's fucking awful.
Because they do have good casts. All of the Die Hard sequels have really good casts, even the latter ones, but they're kind of not deployed to their strengths.
Jupiter Ascending has a good cast. Would you say that has anything in it of worthwhile?
I mean, I kind of like Jupiter Ascending.
I haven't seen it. I can't say.
Did you like the man who was made of bees? Did you like him? Did you?
Well, it was Sean
Bean.
It was Sean Bean. Why wouldn't I like
Sean Bean?
Oh, I thought you said bees. I was like, oh yeah, Candyman. Yeah, he's great. Love Tony Todd.
And he didn't die for a change.
Nobody was a bee. He was a fucking bee.
What? Why? No.
Look, Channing Tatum's a dog.
It was different. They took a swing, and it was a failure. But I consider it a valiant failure. I'd rather go and watch a film that tries. Than a film
that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And here's the thing. I probably have a bit of a rep on the Fluff and Hammer channel just for being positive about as much as I can. But that's because I always try and work to the mindset. No one actively intends to make something bad. Everyone
Asylum movies.
All right. Other than those sort of things, and
the exceptions to the rule.
Those are the exceptions. But for most creatives, they try. They've put
modern day M. Night Shyamalan.
I've never got on with him anyway, to be honest. Sadly.
I got pissed off with him because I saw Devil, and it was basically just, what if Silent Hill was an elevator? And I'm like, well, okay.
Right. Didn't they do that as Silent Hill anyway at one point?
In Silent Hill 3D, which was the second movie, which was in 3D, that was following the third movie's story and fucking sucked. They had an elevator. Oh, no, it was the first one, I think, where they had like Pyramid Head's like sword coming through the elevator. I don't know. Like the first one was, I think, a bit unfairly treated. But the second one was way too fairly treated. It was horrific. Jesus Christ.
The second one was dire.
It was bad.
Right. Nobody ever talks about Devil. So I'm going to go back to Devil for a second. Because there is a sequence in Devil, and I don't understand why people have never really spoken about it. Nobody anywhere talks about this one sequence in Devil, right? And it's the sequence where the guy butters the toast and puts the jam on it, and he drops it, and it lands, as you'd expect, jam side down on the floor.
The Devil did it.
Yeah, and they're all acting shocked. Look, it landed wrong side up. It didn't. That's exactly how it would work.
It's very, very silly.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, Mythbusters proved it.
And nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about this scene, and it lives in my brain constantly.
It's been so long, I can't even remember it.
I wish I was you.
I wish I knew peace.
Yeah. I don't. I am tortured by this fucking sequence.
Oh, dear.
It's like a sort of 35-car pileup involving nuns and orphans, and it just will not leave me alone.
Who let those orphans drive? I mean...
Especially driving nuns around, yeah. child labor laws and all
Bruce
that.
Wayne could adopt all of them.
We were all going to Wayne Manor, McGovernor.
What, they're Dickensian orphans now?
Yes.
He had them imported from dystopian
from Dickland, yes.
From Dick London, yeah. It's like London, but worse. A lot of orphans.
What was it? I'm sure there's a gag strip I read somewhere which has Bruce been introduced to a young hero by Superman or someone, and he gets told that they're an orphan, and Superman has to go, Bruce, no.
Urge to adopt rising. Also, can I just say the unit cohesion in this assault is fucking appalling. Like, they're all running around, they're firing, like, what is happening?
Everyone's grandstanding.
Yeah, literally. Someone's like humming like a fucking 90s rap song. It's just
I mean, basically they're all the heroes of their own individual action movies for this one particular sequence, and I love it.
Give me the poncho cut, goddammit. Where he just pronounces loads of Spanish words really badly.
I don't know. I'd like to see the entire film from Dylan's perspective. Just
yeah.
It would just be a lot of, you fucking idiots.
And then there'd be a lot of like diegetic sound of just a heart pounding because he's like, oh, yeah. I'm not a very nice boy.
Just these monologues. If only they knew why they were really here.
These poor fools.
Oh, man, I now want to see Predator with like a Blade Runner style monologue track over the top.
Oh my god, Blaine was shooting again. He liked doing that when the enemies were nearby, shooting bullets from his gun to kill the enemies that were nearby. I didn't really get it myself.
Did either of you ever read the Concrete Jungle or Cold War graphic novels?
Yeah.
I tried. To read Concrete Jungle.
The funny thing is,
they made better novels.
Yeah.
Because I actually quite like the Stephanie and Stephen Perry Alien and Predator novels.
They were quite good, weren't they? Recontextualizing all that Dark Horse material.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff reworking the Alien sequels into what was it? What did they change them to? It was Newt became Billy and Hicks became something else. But it worked.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But it worked quite well.
And Billy became Newt. It's fine.
They just swapped the names around. This giant fucking military space soldier called Newt.
And then he said,
"Hi, I'm just a little guy. I'm here to help people fight the alien mouse."
Have you guys ever seen Project A-ko?
Yes, I have.
Rings a bell.
I have all 3 DVDs on my shelf ahead on top of in front of me, not a meter away.
Like you just got them on your lap. You're like, just in case.
Just in case someone. I mean, that's what I'm like with Project A-ko. Just in case somebody mentions it, I can throw it on. Like, yeah, let's watch Project A-ko.
I mean,
it's greatest thing ever.
I've just delivered you pizza. Did I stutter?
I did put it on for watch along twice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you missed it both times.
Yeah, probably. I have a busy life.
Fake fan. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. Fucking tourist over here.
Well, the thing is,
all I can think of is Marie.
Adam has a busy life. I have no life. So, but yeah, Marie is hilarious.
You're about to learn a lesson in pain right now.
I don't think 4 shots was necessary. I'm going to be honest. But then again,
you think
he would have been like, Blaine would have been out of ammo like within the first minute of him firing the way he has been. So worst movie ever, actually. Sorry, I take it back.
It is funny though how the only man on the planet who could reasonably carry one of those things the way he does is Jesse Ventura.
Fully, yeah. And he brought his own. Like the prop department, like he showed up with that, and they were like, "Yes, Blaine has a fucking minigun now."
Yeah.
Wasn't that? It's like a helicopter-mounted one.
Yeah.
It's not one to be carried around. It's just
like a Vulcan cannon.
Yeah, because I think for that one and for one from Terminator 2 were custom built because you don't, and they've never made a man-portable minigun.
Well, no, like, and the things like that, they're supposed to be at the very least mounted on a, what do they call it? Like a fixed, like a
yeah. So like
it's
a
like
Steadicam rig, like
because like they are not meant to be held.
No.
That is not Because I mean, it's like firing an Uzi one-handed. You are going to be spraying everywhere and wasting. It's just inefficient, very silly. But fuck if it don't look cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it helps if you have arms the size of a tree trunk.
Oh, absolutely.
Who knew?
Speaking of Terminator,
yes, I'm
do you
listening.
ever think that? Do you ever think that there should be an alternate reality version of Terminator 2, where when the Terminator and John Connor jump off the bridge into the Los Angeles sewers, Connor falls off the back and is instantly just smushed, and the Terminator has to then go, well, shit.
And then he basically just uses like a really creepy Weekend at Bernie's kind of thing, and just becomes the leader of the resistance. And like the timeline is fully unaffected because it has like detailed files about everything John Connor has ever said. So it's just like, I don't know, John. What do you think? Yes, let's do that.
Wasn't that the alternate ending they had planned for Salvation? They were going to skin. They were going to skin John Connor and put him on Mate from Avatars.
I've never heard that.
Yeah,
no.
Apparently instead of Terminator guy having his heart used to replace Connor's, they were going to basically skin Connor and put his skin over Avatar Boy.
I literally remember, like, I bought that on a Blu-ray because it was like £2. And I was like, I haven't seen it, and streaming services aren't that big yet, so I'll just get this. And my husband picked it up, and he saw the back, and he went, don't look at the back as a spoiler. And I was like, okay. And then, I literally guessed, I was like, oh, he's a Terminator hybrid then. And I was just like, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I went to see it at the cinema because I have one of those unlimited cards. It doesn't cost
You had hope once.
Well, yeah, I've seen some bad films at the cinema.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, going to see Terminator Salvation at the cinema was really interesting because I've never seen a TV pilot at the cinema before. And fuck me, if that film does not look like it has the budget of a TV pilot, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it has more of a budget than Genesis.
Genesis.
And Salvation at least gets points for being filmed mostly in the daytime.
Genesis angers me. It makes cold fury happy in my stomach.
That's one of the ones I haven't seen because, like, I'm sorry, who the fucking Jai Courtney is Carl Reese? Fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
Who the hell are you? Like, as an Australian, I apologize for Jai Courtney. The only good role he's ever done is Captain fucking Boomerang. I'm sorry.
I agree.
He was good in Spartacus. Unfortunately, that led him to being cast in far more stuff than he should be cast in. It's like him and Sam Worthington. They keep trying to make him a thing.
It's like, no. It's like, oh, look, it's the protagonist from every fucking, like, video game for 10 years. Okay. I'm like, no hate on them personally. It's just kind of like, okay, no, sure.
But we know Australia has better actors.
Yeah, like, just cast Hugh Jackman as Carl Reese. Don't even change his accent. Just literally just, g'day, I'm Carl Reese.
I mean, I am still kind of gutted that Kevin Smith from the Xena shows died before he could make it big in the States because he could have been that sort of presence in the 2000s.
Yeah. Oh god, Xena was my jam.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, oh god, that's taking me back. But no, it's like, I remember, like, there was only like a couple of things I liked from Dark Fate, which was the enemy Terminator was played by a really handsome guy. That was literally it. I mean, to be fair, he did have he was a bit intimidating, so good on him for working with that fucking script. Yeah. And, I got to see Linda Hamilton again, which was nice, even though why in this fucking story? And it was just like seeing the T-800 is
sell drapes.
Yeah, it's like she thinks I'm funny or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's a fun line, but also just let these people fucking retire.
Well, let these franchises fucking retire.
Yeah, it's like you're not making them better. You're just, and like there's such a slim chance of them ever really matching up to the original. So, and it's okay to kind of just go, that's that done. Let's just try new things now.
Or if you're gonna do a sequel, have the guts to recast. Star Trek's done it. Sarah Connor Chronicles did it to great effect. Yeah,
it does bug me where like there seems to be a thing against recasting now. It's like we can just do that. Please remember that there are loads of actors out there who have never had a chance.
Yeah,
that could play it perfectly.
It's like the thing that now we've already said. Mark Hamill is a sweetie. Nothing against Mark Hamill. But the two actors they've used as his stand-in on The Mandalorian both look uncannily like him anyway. And
Yeah,
are supposedly
so
quite good actors in their own right. So
why not just
yeah,
do that?
and Billie Lourdes is the spitting image of her mum. I mean,
Mm,
she was the body double for her in Rise of Skywalker for the flashbacks, so
mm.
she could probably play Leo. And come on, guys, just it applies to all franchises.
Oh yeah, like the whole Kang thing is like, yeah, Jonathan Major, or I think that was his name.
Yeah,
Yes,
Majors,
yeah,
or
Jonathan
like, yeah,
Majors.
he's a fucking jerk. But like,
Mm.
just recast. There's so many talented actors out there that could play
Yeah,
that role, probably
absolutely.
better.
Yeah,
It's like, so why not do that? No, we're making it someone else. It's like, okay, great. That's just ruined fucking years of like setting up a storyline. Good on you.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and
aye,
not
they're-
even, and it's the fact that it's Downey Jr. as Doom as well.
That is such.
I have no problem with either on their own, but together it yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen, please.
Agreed. Yes,
Because he
That's
has
what I
that
kept saying, yeah.
charming. He put like him in Hannibal was fantastic. He
Mhm.
was perfect in Hannibal.
Him
Like
or
the
his
kind
brother.
of
Mads or his brother, because they both have voices that are just perfect for Doom.
exactly. It is just frustrating. Like, look, you don't have to do that. Please, just
Yeah.
I'm like, cast unknown actors. Mads Mikkelsen, that guy no one's fucking heard of. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I mean, it probably doesn't help that the two relatively unknown actors they've cast to be their big villains, Namor and Kang, have both proven to be kind of skeevy.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. So I can get why they might want to go for someone more tried and tested, but it just feels,
I get that. I get the more safer option, but also I'm like, can Robert Downey Jr. just stop, please? I'm sick of seeing him in everything, and that man has more money than God. So I don't think it's like.
I mean,
he's already in the MCU.
They're paying him more money than it cost to make Transformers 1.
I've heard that's really good though. I'm gonna go see that this week.
It really is. It really is. I'm quite irked though that it's only been out since Friday nationally.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw a preview last Monday. But at my local cinema, it's only showing this week.
Oh,
okay.
It's not showing this weekend.
Like, I mean, it's oh my god, that's really stupid.
It I mean, Paramount need a kick in the nuts for how they marketed that film because
yes,
I mean, everyone I've seen who's actually watched it has either loved it or found it genuinely enjoyable, and it is. It's such an enjoyable movie. And
yeah, I've not heard a bad word about it, and husband really wants to go see it because obviously he's really into Transformers. So
you don't say.
Yeah, he hides it well. Actually.
I mean, I'd like to say that I hide it well, but no.
It's fine. I mean, like I personally, I'm kind of fond of Batman. It's all right. Again, hiding it well. God.
I'm just a Bane fanboy.
Bane is dope, and it's kind of it was a bit sad in the Schumacher movie how they made him just like a Pokemon that Poison Ivy control. I'm like, okay, fine. They needed a role to fill, and they were like, fuck it, let's do that. So they couldn't have him being the criminal mastermind and giant beefcake. So I get it.
Yeah, and Tom Hardy was good, but that wasn't.
I
really
could not understand a word he said. Honestly,
there is that.
Have you got a problem with the way that Tom Hardy speaks?
What? Something about a fishbowl, mate. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, at least that gave us the Harley Quinn version of Bane. So.
Oh yes,
that is so funny.
I need to watch like more of that. I love that so much.
I can't read good.
Love it.
Harley Quinn and Star Trek Lower Decks. What did we do to deserve two such great animated tie-ins to franchises?
I don't know, but I want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
We've reached 2024 where creativity is dead unless nobody's paying attention to what it is you're making.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they pay attention and go, "Oh, can't have that."
Mm-hmm.
Stop doing that. Stop doing this good thing.
You see, kids don't like Batman, so we need to make him do the gritty. God, I sound like a boomer.
I love the Dr. Manhattan picture of it is 1989. There is a grittier, more down-to-earth Batman. It is 2001. There is a grittier, more down-to-earth Batman. It is 2024. There is a grittier, more down-to-earth Batman.
God damn.
I'm thinking more of a Pacific Rim thing where it's like there's been a gritty down-to-earth Batman every 10 years and became every 5. There's every 2. Now it's every 1 year. And it's soon to be every month.
Oh.
A newer, grittier, more down-to-earth Batman.
I mean,
so
I've read Failsafe. I'm fucking mad. Also,
Wait.
can I just say this scene, like where she's like she makes eyes at Poncho, they give her makeup to make her look prettier, even though she's already fucking beautiful and gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just gone in like the close-ups, and you're like, oh, 80s movies were special.
Yeah.
They really were.
It's weird, isn't it, how so much of filmmaking at this time is all about in the moment, that suspension of belief that you somebody may change from moment to moment, but it doesn't matter because it's all in service to the film.
Yeah.
And I love how films like this are made.
Idiot.
Yeah.
So I love that. Like, go, Anna, go.
So the thing, I'd have loved to have seen her back in the sequels.
I love her. I think she's a fantastic. She plays this role with her whole chest. Like, she commits to it so well.
Yeah.
And like, especially because I think she was 19 during this fucking movie. Like,
oh wow,
yeah. So she's like, she was either 19 explicitly or just very, very young. Like, you know, she was around that age. So like, you know, I read, like, if you ever want to feel really sad, read up about her life, the actress's life. Okay. Because Jesus Christ, that poor woman. Like, before she was even in this movie, she was like someone did a drive-by at her and her family and stuff, like all this kind of horrifying shit. And you're like,
oh, no.
Okay. But yeah, and I love her. She's great.
Ah, she was in Solaris.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, the 2002 Solaris. Oh. Now, I have seen that. I don't remember anything about it, but I do remember enjoying it at the time. So these are two conflicting emotions I'm now feeling.
That reminds me how to add Solaris to the watch-along list. I keep remembering films I need to add to that list.
Wait, what? She was in Predator 2?
Yeah, apparently she is listed as being in Predator 2. And I think in the theatrical cut at the very least, because she's not in there because I would have freaked the fuck out if I'd seen her in there.
Yeah.
I think they just mention her as in like one of the people who were debriefed mentioned the Predator, and it's like, so they debriefed Anna and Dutch.
Yeah. Okay. I want to say there might be a brief, unless you're blinking you'll miss it, when they're doing the reveal of the surveillance wagon. And Graves, on one of the monitors, there is a shot of her in a chair being, quotation mark, debriefed. But it's
been a while since I've seen that one, so I couldn't.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What? Sorry, I know that's not exciting listening, but I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I am going to get. I need to know.
Yeah, we'll fill air. It's fine. It's fine.
You guys keep fucking talking. I'm gonna fucking work this fucker out.
Yeah.
Lock in. What are they? Fam. There we go.
I need pictures. I need pictures of Anna in Predator 2 and also Spider-Man.
Yeah, I need pictures of Spider-Man in Predator 2. Where was he during Predator 2? Fucking get off your ass, Parker, you lazy shit. People are dead. Does it take place in New York or is it LA?
LA.
It's LA. Yeah, no. Okay, you know what? Parker, you're off the hook.
Although we are at the point now where Marvel are starting to do crossovers so we've had Wolverine versus Predator.
Didn't we have Batman versus Alien? Or was Superman versus Alien?
They did Superman versus Alien, Batman versus Alien, Batman versus Predator, Green Lantern versus Alien.
That makes more sense to me.
But because
I think you'll find there's Batman versus Predator volumes 1 to 3, and the third one has Alfred shooting a predator with an elephant gun.
Yep.
Nope.
It's great.
Is that where the my master won't kill? I ascribe to no such notion comes from?
Yep.
Yeah. But because Marvel have now got Fox, or because Disney have got Fox, all that's Marvel. But
holy fuck!
But they've just launched Aliens versus Avengers.
Oh my god!
Which the first issue is actually pretty good because it's by Jonathan Hickman writing it.
Okay, there we go then.
Yeah, with his I can't remember the artist's name, but it's one who works with him on a lot of the Avengers stuff. The time's run out. Yeah. It's turned into quite a nice, dark, nasty Elseworld story, which is what you want from Aliens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It fits the feel.
Unless it's a Wildstorm comic, and then the Alien
it's all in
crossover is in continuity and exists to wipe out the entire superhero team.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, those cheeky little xenomorphs, I tell ya. I mean, when they're gone, you miss them, though, don't ya?
I mean,
that's
a hell
kills
of a
the entirety of Stormwatch.
Yep. But yet, they all come back eventually.
Yes, of course, because it's comics.
In fairness, they came back at the end of Wildstorm, but when it was starting to get really good again, but still.
Man. I've got a thing for The Authority. I think The Authority is just one of the best comics that I've ever read. I love that series so damn much.
It's weird, The Authority, because I have the complete run of The Authority now. I've managed to pick most of it up and all the Stormwatch stuff that led into it.
Mm-hmm.
And for all of his flaws, Ellis was killing it on that run. It was a really fascinating series of books. And Miller,
yes, it's a shame. He's a colossal dick.
Yeah. And then Miller and Brubaker taking over as well did some really good stuff with them.
Yeah.
I do feel that The Authority is very much now of its time, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
There is quite a bit of stuff in all versions of it that I read and just go, yeah, that's some real late 90s, early 2000s stuff right there. It's important.
Yeah.
Because without The Authority, you wouldn't have the Ultimates and that brand.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, that widescreen cinematic style of comic book artwork.
The Brian Hitch style of comic book.
Which kind of dominated the scene for most of the 2000s. And we're finally getting a bit away from it. It's become a bit more...
Yeah.
There's still big moments, but they're more carefully done. I think it's the right way to put it.
It depends, but yeah.
As a rule, they've learned the lessons. So
I will say that
the only part Daffod remembers is just happened, by the way.
Yeah, that was no kidding.
Sorry to interrupt.
This scene as a 10-year-old watching it on Hong Kong TV was traumatizing. Because I
always got scared when you see Hawkins's body strung up. I was like, oh no, that freaked me out.
Yeah,
so bad as a kid.
but I didn't watch any other parts of the movie. It was just that scene with the Predator in silhouette, in his cloaking mode. I didn't see anything else around it before or after for the longest time. But this is just in retrospect, this scene it's kind of funny as well, because
it is so funny because it's like America. Yeah, just get your grenade launcher in there, Poncho, you fucking weirdo. You have you've literally got Max screaming contact at the top of his lungs. You've got a member down, and then you're just like, well, I guess they must be in like a 90-degree radius, and we should use like 3 days worth of our ammunition.
Yeah.
Because fucking why not?
And they accomplish nothing.
Yeah. They hit nothing. I love the way he says that. Like he's like making fun of all of them, including himself. And also seeing Anna just like cover her ears and being like, fucking Christ, okay.
Yeah.
This is so
the
loud.
men are having feelings about it.
I wish that I could, in my job, say, so you feel that you've got a lot of unresolved feelings, go out into the jungle with a helicopter-mounted minigun and just deforest.
Just let it fly. Just start cutting the grass, my man.
Yeah.
Then you can build a swimming pool where there was once trees.
Yep.
So I found out where Anna's cameo is.
Oh, where is it?
2.
Oh, go on.
So you know the sequence where Gary Busey does the entire lions and tigers and bears? Oh my.
Yeah.
She's on the screens.
She's
talking.
Okay.
Okay.
But they've filmed new stuff for it. It's not taken from anywhere else. They filmed her being interviewed. And if you find the original script, it actually has the entire interview in the script.
Oh, wow.
I need to read that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Anna, emotional, voice quavering. It used the jungle to move, very fast, powerful. It was colored like the chameleon, invisible unless it wanted to be. It was hunting the men like a game, but only if they had weapons, only if they were dangerous.
Which is, I would personally take as like a real shady dig at me personally if the Predator wouldn't talk. I'd be like, okay, bitch, you know what? I've hit this guy with a fucking big tree log. That was heavy. Okay, I'd be so pissed off.
Yeah. Everyone just marvel at Arnold's arm there for a second, because
I cannot. I'm like,
dang.
I literally was wearing a Skynet shirt when I was doing my lifting yesterday, and like I was watching myself in the free weights because I wasn't watching myself to be vain. I was watching to make sure that my form on my hammer curls were correct, and I was just like, my brain just kept shouting ADHD wise, "Is this physique attainable?"
I thought you were trying to do the curls in time with the Terminator 2 music.
Oh God!
Dun, 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 dun,
Can
dun.
you fucking imagine?
Dun,
Oh
dun,
my
dun, dun,
Jesus!
dun.
I would my elbows would explode. I would. That would be a 5-foot explosion. 1D fucking like 2D6 fucking armor piercing -1.
I think it's when you do deadlifts and you drop the the weight.
Jesus.
That's when you get the Terminator sound. Dun, 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 dun.
I just have to do a supercut of me doing that. Yeah. Things, I don't like dropping weights.
No.
The only other people who do it really frequently are like ego lifting weirdos in the gym. So I tend to just be like, well, I don't like you.
No, the people who drop weights are usually the ones who do the
and I literally, it's been so good because I've been lifting the past month because I had tonsillitis. I've basically, it's been the longest stint off the gym. So since like February, when I woke up one day and I couldn't move because I had sciatica, and they said exercise is really good for it. So I went and lifted weights for 2 hours every day for like 3 months, and now it's down to like every other day. Yeah. And then I go in on like say the lat pull, which is like that's the stereotypical gym machine where it's the bar above your head and you pull it down to just parallel with your shoulders, and that's what all of the gym dickheads who don't know how to lift will use for some reason. That's just the one in my gym, at least. That's the one they're all on. And it's really funny waiting for them to come off a machine and being on like the machine next to them and watching them lifting correctly, bending their back and lifting, say, like 140 pounds. Well, not like they're acting as if they're lifting about 140 pounds. And then they're showing off, they're grunting, they're dropping weights. And I'm like, okay. And then I use the machine after them and then put it up by 20 pounds. And then seeing their face that a girl TM is lifting more than them easier. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't care, like, because people who lift like that, they don't care how much you can lift, just as long as you're lifting properly and not being a dickhead about it.
Yeah.
Because no one thinks that's cool.
No.
Well, the only people who think that's cool are people who don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're going to end up injuring themselves.
Exactly.
So, carry on, mate.
Yeah.
It's like, all right then. And the thing is, like, I tend to, if I can, I try and go really early in the morning because then the ego lifters aren't in.
Yeah.
Because then there's no one to really look at them. But then if I go around lunchtime, it's like, oh God, it's full of like people just lifting like and screaming and carrying on and dropping weights all over the place. Like I've got my noise cancelling headphones on and I can hear weights smash and I'm like, okay, what muscle group are you working out?
Yeah.
Dickhead
my
muscle.
Fucking patience.
Yeah. I mean, I always used to, for when I was going to the gym, which I do miss, even though it's been years now. I always used to be, I never used the free weights. I was always using machines just because.
I mean, to be fair, like machines are a really good kind of starting point to get you used to the kind of like range of movement you need to do with certain exercises. So there's some merit there. Yeah,
but I always felt bad when I made a mistake and the weights did end up clanking more than I wanted them to.
The thing is, the fact that you were just aware of it. It's so you're not in there and the guy like who's obviously juicing wearing like a string vest of Gold's Gym and doing like lifts 200 pounds once and then screams for 20 minutes. So don't worry.
Yeah. I should probably try and get back to it now. I'm not doing much else, to be honest, because I have put on a lot of weight in the last 6 years.
Yeah, you've been bulking. It's fine. That's the way I kind of feel. It's like, yeah, I'm bulking. What?
Yeah. That's the excuse. Yeah, I'm bulking.
Yeah, bulking.
The best advice I was ever given for stuff like that was from, surprisingly enough, Mr. Adam White, because one of the things he hammered home to me many years ago is that was weird. There's nothing better to try and weight train with than your own body weight.
Yeah. It's very true.
And so as a result, I don't really do the gym anymore because one, it saves me money, and two, means I don't have to, deal with people.
Well, I mean, I was part of a program a good few years back, pre-COVID. It got basically disintegrated because of COVID, where I was doing boxing and stuff like that. With basically there's like groups of people who had done like health and nutrition like at university, who would be like, hey, like literally, you don't have to be able to run 5K to be considered healthy. If like even people who have a bit more weight on them, if they do like 30 minutes of like moderate cardio per day, they are already so much healthier. heart-wise.
Yes. Yeah.
And like, and it's not about like, oh, I can't go and spend 2 hours at the gym, therefore I shouldn't go. It's like, okay, well, can you walk to the shops instead of driving? And so like all those kind of things where it's obvious when you say it, but especially someone who's struggled with their weight for so long, it's kind of like, it's revolutionary when someone says that to you. You're like, holy shit, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just like making tiny choices instead of going, well, if I eat one like M&M, then I've ruined my entire day is ruined, and I've gained 100. It's just it's
silly.
It's very silly. And like I'm glad that as I've gotten older, I care less and less about how other people see me. Apart from like, I want everyone to think, oh God, she's going to punch me to death because she's so powerful. That's definitely a vibe I'd like to put across. But like, if someone looks at me and goes, oh, fat, and I'm like, well, I don't look at people like that because I'm not a fucking dickhead. And do I want fucking dickheads being my friend? No. So I just wish I had that confidence when I was lifting weights in college. And like, there was a dude there who like started a rumor about me being on creatine powder, and I'm like, what a pathetic rumor. Because I was like 17 and lifting. It was like, oh yeah, no, you know, she like completely pounds creatine powder, and it's like, okay, then my arms would be way bigger than they were because oh my God, they were not very big. I was a lot thinner. Yeah. And like, it's like I can understand someone being like, she's juicing, because that's like, you know, looked down upon. You test taking like you know steroids and stuff is bad, but like being like, that's like going, she takes vitamin C supplements every morning. Just saying. It's like, okay, cool.
Takes iron.
It's like, oh yeah. Ugh, I bet you use paracetamol when you've got a headache. Like, okay, sure, great. I love how
look at you slamming those cod liver oil tablets back.
I ate a 500 milligram box of those when I was like 4.
Oh no.
It was the best day of my life. I could see God and I wanted to fight it. My mother said I was just lying on the sofa going, for like 12 hours. But honestly, I don't remember that, so it didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, when I went to the cinema last week, I did 2.
After you pounded 500, like you know, half a liter of cod liver oil.
Yeah.
With your creatine.
But before, when I went in to see TF1, I got myself a sundae as a treat. A brownie sundae.
An entire day?
Just watching the same movie. Honestly, I've been there.
Yeah. Don't judge.
I've done it. I've done it with this movie, for Christ's sake.
But I had a warm brownie sundae, but I opted for chocolate with the brownie, then vanilla and fudge sauce, and they should have had some insulin on the side because I could see sound.
You went into diabetic shock halfway through.
By the time the film started, I was almost being able to see what the sounds were.
Did you shower with frogs previously, though? I've got to ask.
I mean, I had gotten out of watching Return of the Jedi beforehand, so
okay, that's pretty good though.
Yeah, I was kind of a bit wired by that point.
I saw that. That's the third one, right? Yeah, with the Ewoks.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that in the cinema. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was so fucking good on the big screen.
Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed because they've been doing Star Wars Sundays for the last few weeks, month or so, where they've been shown. It's weird. Every film apart from Solo and Clone Wars. So they had Rogue One, but not the other two. Weird.
I mean, Rogue One is probably my favorite Star Wars movie that I'll never watch again. Because it just emotionally destroyed me.
Yeah, but I'm annoyed because I only managed to get to see Rogue One and so far Return of the Jedi. I've had tickets for all the others booked. Haven't got to see any of them yet, which annoys me. But I say, at least the tickets haven't cost me anything. So
yeah, that's always a nicer part of the deal, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Last Jedi this weekend though, and I'm torn about Rise of Skywalker because
I loved like the first two of the sequels. Really did not like the third one. I know, like that's such a shocking and dramatic opinion to have, but I just kind of go, well, I like the first two. I mean, the second one's my absolute favorite. I absolutely love that one. That's my favorite.
Rise has moments. That's the annoying thing about Rise.
That's what really sucks, is that it has moments of like, this could have been great. Yeah,
and I'm really irked because it was supposed to be Colin Trevorrow directing it. But then he did the Sound of Silence, which bombed.
I don't know. Is he the one that wrote the script with Razor Robot?
I'm not sure, but he did have a script, but someone did like a storyboard animatic of it that
Because Jenny Nicholson did a big breakdown of that one that I'm thinking of.
She might have done one of that as well, but it was called Duel of Fates, not Rise of Skywalker.
That's a way more nostalgic name. I get it.
But it went a different way. So like it went to Coruscant and had Finn leading the whole Stormtrooper rebellion. And I wanted Finn and Poe to get together. I wanted Finn to be force sensitive. I wanted. I'm a Reylo shipper, but I also understand what's realistic. So whatever. And Kylo Ren had done too many shitty things to really get a fair redemption. So fine. Yeah. Also, one of the nice touches where all of the different Jedi are talking to Rey at the end, and I'm like you can hear the people from Clone Wars. You can hear fucking. I think Ahsoka's in there or something. Yep, they got
so many different people.
Yeah, they got all the right actors to do the voices, which was
which is like that was awesome, but it does not make up for the rest of it. I'm sorry.
No.
Also, just let her be Rey Star Wars. That really pissed me off so much. Let her just be Rey.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit.
I do want to see what they do with the next one though.
I hope that they kind of do a Metal Gear and go, that didn't happen. Fuck you. Whereas this Kojima looks at the camera and goes, oh, bitch, you thought? No, we're doing this differently now.
Yeah.
And I love it.
The only thing that would interest me about Star Wars is if they went back to the prequels and then said these are the only ones that really mattered. Everything else is now up for grabs.
Dude, there'd be riots. People would die.
It'd be funny.
It'd be fucking hilarious, especially because I could lock my door.
As somebody who enjoys the prequels and doesn't really care about Star Wars,
hey man, that's fine. I get you.
Yeah. We had this weird experience with Star Wars where I didn't see it until the special editions came out.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yeah, never saw it as a kid. You couldn't see it in Dubai. It was you could not watch it. It was nowhere to be found. So throughout my entire growing up, never got to see Star Wars.
This is I just want to say this scene is a very formative scene for me when I was like 7 years old. I was just like, this scene's so cool. Don't know why. It's probably nothing.
I was meant to mention it earlier on, but there was an intense conversation going on. I really, really like when Thingy's making the flares and the mines and everything, and he's just staring right down the pipe bomb. Just don't do that. Don't look right down it. That's not.
It's rude.
That's a surefire way to lose your face. Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't make eye contact.
Real Luke Skywalker looking down a lightsaber barrel moment. I was like, what does this do? That would have been a very short fucking movie.
Better for
I remember, this where fucking like Max shaving, which what I love is a little background character thing that he just does, and the fact that he shows up in the helicopter wearing a suit and tie.
Yeah,
love that. Perfect. I immediately know what kind of a person this is. Fantastic. But I remember having an argument with my boyfriend when I was like in high school, who when he's obviously he pushes the razor into his face and it bleeds. I was like, oh, it's really quite fun because he's got like a little packet in there and he's obviously pressing it and it breaks and he's like, no, he actually did that. And I was like, no, he didn't. He's a fucking actor. You idiot.
He's not a mid-2000s wrestler desperate to bleed in order to be able to become famous.
Yeah, he ain't got time to bleed.
Well, he ain't got your actors union.
You see, did you see how much Drew McIntyre bled this past weekend?
No, I don't keep up with worse. I have been out of the game for a long time.
Classic Hell in a Cell, and he and CM Punk went at it, and apparently McIntyre wasn't supposed to bleed, and they were on the point of calling a medic out for him because he bled so much.
Oh god, was that a head wound?
Yeah,
those bleed a lot.
Punk bled intentionally. McIntyre didn't. But, let's put it this way: it was approaching Guerrero versus Bradshaw levels.
Oh, Guerrero.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a shocker. CM Punk's in a match, and he managed to do something that caused major problems for the person he was fighting. Wow, colour me surprised. Look at all the shock that's on my face. Oh dear me, who would have seen CM Punk being fucking useless in the ring happening? Oh no,
you are shocked right now.
Oh, can you hear the emotion in my voice?
You're shocked still. You can't emote because you've gone catatonic. You're so shocked.
I will be like this now for 3 whole weeks.
Oh,
the funny thing is, body count, since he's gone back to WWE, he's been a much more professional person. Weird.
He couldn't be any less, could he? the only way he could have been less professional is if he'd been Vince McMahon. Oh, let's be honest.
Fuck Vince McMahon.
Well, apparently he's angling potentially to take over or to get into the running to take over from Michaels in NXT at some point. He wants to shepherd for
I
next generation.
this is the part that always clicks in my brain of cover photo in 3, 2.
Yeah.
There we go. Love it.
That shot got used in
Iconic.
so much stuff, not just for
It
Predator
did.
though, because I think didn't Contra rip it off?
Contra
shamelessly?
ripped it off.
Yep.
Which honestly, slay. I
Yeah.
would rip it off if I could. That's how I
Yeah.
go to the gym every day. I've got my webbing on. I've got my tits out.
I mean, honestly, this scene is probably part of a good reason why I mainly play Jungle Fighters for 2 decades. In
Well, I mean, this scene is kind of like why I loved Far Cry 3 so fucking much.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Ugh!" Or like Ghost Recon Wildlands, which had Predator DLC, which I never to this day have finished. I remember driving through that area and you hear the clicking, and I got goosebumps.
See,
I
came
loved it.
I came in to play that Predator video game that's out there.
Which one is it? The asymmetric multiplayer.
Yeah,
that's dead. No one's playing that anymore.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, literally, it died like 2 months after it came out. It just stopped. Like people were just like, "There's no like there were loads of kind of little quality of life upgrades that they were promising that just didn't." Because I looked into it because it was like on I think it was Fanatical for like a couple of quid, and I was like, "I love Predator. Let's have a look." So I looked at it and it had like it had like 3 stars on Steam, and I was like, "Oh, is it that bad?" And it's like people just going, "Dead game, don't buy." And like everyone is going, "Yeah, you can't get a match." It's like, "Oh shit, okay, never mind then."
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
And that's why Unreal Tournament bots are the best thing in the world.
Unreal Tournament 2004. Can I just say?
I'm
fucking hate
I'm
that
always
game.
going to go for the first one.
Yeah, me too.
Always
That's
going to go for the
best,
first. Yeah. Love that original Unreal Tournament.
It's funny. I never played Unreal Tournament, but I wasn't really a deathmatch guy in any shape or form. Online versus for the longest. I think for most of
online versus is great. Yeah.
Jedi Knight 2 was my jam, and that was kind of it for the longest time. And then I didn't have internet at university for like 4 years, pretty much.
Oh god, that sounds like a violation of the Geneva Convention.
Well, it was the early 2000s when it wasn't as big a thing.
Yeah.
So,
still,
if I'd got into my first choice university, they had internet in the student accommodation, but c'est la vie. I met some of my best friends from the university I went to in the end. So,
yeah, exactly.
The days of IRRC. Oh,
yeah,
glorious Hallison times.
I remember watching this. I didn't know he was singing "Long Tall Sally" because he's like obviously so distressed. I was like, I don't know what's he saying.
It still boggles my mind that he directed Sister Act.
Bill Duke directed Sister Act.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
I don't know what to do with this information.
That's because every time you see him in a role, he's always a really dour, grim, like military guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So him being like, yes, Sister Act. The man's got depth.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, can we all take a moment to appreciate Carl Weathers' abs? Because
I will never stop appreciating this man's physique. It is incredible.
I do like that sequence earlier on where he's obviously holding his stomach in a little bit.
Oh, you have to, especially I do long for like, because these are more healthier, strong bodies, and like, because now it's all dehydration and tone, which I will never shut up about getting angry about that, because these are livable physiques for the most part.
Yeah.
So
well,
like,
I mean, someone pointed out that Harrison Ford in the Indiana Jones movies,
he's strong and very fit.
He's incredibly. Whenever you see him shirtless, that is an incredibly fit physique.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But nowadays he'd look like he'd be dehydrated to fuck. He'd have an 8-pack and look like he's about to keel over with exhaustion.
Exactly. And there's no need for it because
there isn't. No. It's like I remember, like, is it Channing Tatum was talking about how fucking just soul crushing that kind of
Magic Mike.
Yeah, and it's like, damn, dude.
And it was just for like. What is it? He held it for like 5 days of specific filming, and after that, it was just like, nope.
Yeah, because it takes such a toll on you mentally and physically.
Yeah, and you can only do it if you're like those guys. They're getting the full treatment to.
Oh, they're getting the best meals, world top like fitness trainers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's so much work going into doing that, and I just couldn't.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like
I love pizza too much.
Yeah. I fully get that. That's the thing. It's like I remember I saw a picture of someone had drawn of Nightwing where his traps are literally 8 times the size of his waist. Not his traps, his fucking lats. Sorry. And he's eating a piece of pizza, and I literally pointed at Scream and shouted, "Fuck off! Does that man eat carbs?" Because you just don't get to do that if that's how you want to look.
Oh, there's a great bit in pre-New 52 Red Robin where Tim Drake
Oh hell yeah!
and one of Lucius Fox's daughters are teaming up,
Mm.
and they're just having a breakfast together, and she's having, you know, a full continental with bacon on the side and eggs.
The best kind of breakfast.
Yeah, and he's basically got an egg white omelette.
He's got egg whites. He's got.
Yeah.
Oh no, dry toast probably comes like quite late at night, so that's the only carbs he'll be allowed per day.
And his response is, "I hate you."
Fully get that. I fully get it. Like, I could never lift for tone. I'd go crazy and just explode. I'd hate that. God, I mean, like, if some people really like looking like that, and that's like fucking fantastic for them, but I would just sit in a corner and catch fire.
Yeah, I mean, when I was doing it, it was just for health. I was doing barely half an hour a day, but I'd go and do 10 minutes warm up on a bike or a cross trainer.
That's still very impressive. Like cross trainers, those are literally just. Do you want your thighs to fucking hurt?
It's a great machine.
God, yeah.
Do the middle 20 just spread between rowing and the weight machines upstairs, and then wind down on the bike.
Yeah, no, it's a good set though.
Didn't do anything fancy. Didn't do any massive weights or anything. It was just putting in the time and doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult to do. Absolutely. But like, it's still also like, it's not impressive. If that makes any sense. Also, this is another shot that scared me shitless as a child. I was so freaked out by that.
And leading into the most infamous of ITV's cuts.
Or you just go, and then that's it.
We haven't talked about the ITV cut of this.
No.
Because ITV...
I don't know anything about these.
Basically, ITV cut it so that where the Predator shoots Dylan...
Yeah.
Is pretty much where this scene ends. It cuts straight to Arnie and the team and
just hearing him shout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You don't see him missing his arm.
You know, I had to do it to him.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's a extensive Predator standing there like that.
So you don't see him missing his arm. You don't see him
like just
using his remaining arm to pull over the other gun to try and take the Predator out, and you don't see him getting lifted up and stabbed. It's
To be fair, this is such a visceral scene. Like, till this day, that arm looks too realistic on the floor. And also, you can see the big lump on his back where he's got his arm there, but that's fine. Yeah. I still love you, Carl Weathers. Don't look too close, it's fine.
Then, of course, I thought that he just looks so sad.
He's like, "Oh, I wasn't ready."
That was my favorite arm.
And my favorite, I don't know. What's there? Esophagus, lungs, just favorite torso. Let's go with that. It's more uncomfortable.
My spleen.
My favorite spleen.
So yeah, that's cut out. The guys hanging upside down, skinned. That was cut out.
Cleaning the skull. That's cut out.
Yep.
Any use
that's
of the
one of the most visceral
bits. Is cut as
Any
well.
use of the word "fuck" is cut out.
Yeah, because they.
That's half the movie. Was this cut 5.5 minutes long?
It was like an hour and a half.
Jesus.
It was only long
15 minutes.
The adverts.
Yeah.
It was 15 minutes worth of stuff was cut out, and it's legendary in circles of just being one of the most horrible cuts in the world. Put it this way, it was cut in such a way that it was shown on ITV at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
This is not a movie you should show at 8 o'clock. No, this is definitely post-Watershed.
Yeah.
It's like, look, if you want to show it, do it right. Don't cut everything out and make it worse, because it's just going to make people cranky with you. I don't get it.
Yeah. And I love how pointless this scene is, because the Predator's come up behind him.
Yeah. Other Predator's like, "Nice knife, dickhead."
Yeah.
Like, get stabbed, idiot.
Nice nipples, dickhead.
Like, plucks them. That's what that sound is. Billy is getting like a purple nurple from the Predator.
Yeah.
Just throws his nipples in the mouth and just starts chewing them. Nom, 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 nom.
Oh dear. I always felt so bad.
That's how Predator do.
I always felt so bad for him, because I'm just like, he was so hurt and he was so close.
Yeah.
I do like that. Yeah, he's there doing that entire. I will stand here and I will give you time, and it just doesn't last.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he's done it is just like such a great moment for his character, especially like the whole kind of like they're like military, but like not movie military TM. So like the whole turning down that job because they're a rescue team, they're not assassins, and he's like, oh yeah, no, we're all in this together, so let's just like stop keeping you as a prisoner because we're all needing to survive.
I love that they don't spell out that they're a mercenary team.
Yeah,
but it's all implied.
Well, I mean, when would it come up? When would you say that? It's just incriminating to say, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, can I say, I love the change of speed when he's sliding down the hill on his ass. You see, like, the stuntman fucking tearing down at, like, 30... Yeah, there he is. And then you see the slide that Arnie's on, and he's like, oh, no, 7 miles an hour? I could never.
Yeah.
We haven't spoken about Schwarzenegger's hair in this film.
I like it.
It's a wonderful brush cut.
It's... You could clean entire sinks with it. It is the most amazing.
I love it. It's so good.
Thick hair I've ever seen.
I think this Commando.
If there was a complete opposite to Hulk Hogan's hair, it's this.
Yeah, because the absence of hair on Hogan is where everyone has normal hair.
Yeah.
Like the second pencil dive.
Yep. When Hogan has hair, it's like baby hair. It's like doll's hair. It's not real hair.
Oh, nothing about that man is real.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's far too real.
I know. I just need to keep telling myself he's like something that the internet made up, like the rake, in order to be able to sleep at night.
I mean, at least we can take consolation of the fact that when he went to train in Japan, he had his leg broken.
Oh, that's nice. I like the idea of like, hello, I'm Hulk Hogan and I'm here to train, and then they just kicked his knee in half.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, that was for test to see if he was committed because
It's like when that guy like. When Steven Seagal, which is actually the original pronunciation of his name, but when Steven Seagal was like, no one can choke me because of fucking keto.
Oh yeah.
And then he got choked and shat himself and passed out. And it's like, yeah.
No. And now lives in Russia.
Shock horror.
Much to my
hanging
annoyance,
out with all of the despots.
About 3 years ago, in a tiny little town in the west coast of Cumbria called Maryport, there was a evening with Steven Seagal booked.
Oh shit!
And there were tickets.
Did it go about as well as this Reddit AMA?
It got cancelled the day before, so I guess that somehow he worked out what had actually happened, and he wasn't going to be anywhere of worth.
Fucking coward! Go eat a carrot like a fucking weirdo.
And I was so annoyed because me and Mick Graham were going to go to that, and we were going to have the time of our lives.
Yeah.
But hey.
So, how is it being in just nothing but shit? You know? Your best film is Under Siege.
It's and like I listened to the Behind the Bastards on him, and Jesus fucking Christ, that man is an inhuman gibbering maniac, and I hate him so. Yeah. His hair is also carpet, so I don't care.
Yeah, yes.
Under Siege is funny because he's not even like the 4th or 5th best actor in that film.
No,
well, yeah,
and he's the headliner.
Oh Jesus. Can I just say, fucking, not only a phenomenal suit from Jim Henson's character workshop here, but also some fantastic creature acting from Kevin Peter Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Fucking, this man makes it so real. Because I remember, like, seeing, like, it was like a behind-the-scenes thing about Predator 2, and they were complaining about the suit in Predator 1, saying it just looked like a rubber suit, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. No, it didn't.
No,
it looked great. And, like, the problem I have with the design in Predator 2 of, like, the Urban Hunter is the fact that they've given him stupid plastic eyes that look awful. Whereas when you see the Predator's eyes in this, and it's just obviously Kevin Peter Hall's eyes, I'm like, that. I feel that's a real living creature.
Yeah.
Yes.
It pisses me off. It's like Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and Predator 2 were like, what if we gave them stupid doll eyes? And I'm like, just don't do that again, please. Awful.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is the greatest film that explains what it's like to grow up as a gay man.
I have heard that, and I haven't rewatched it with that lens in mind, but like remembering, like, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff, and I can understand why audiences didn't like it because it wasn't stupid slapstick slasher.
No,
so I get it.
It's a great film. It's not a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Definitely not.
I don't know what it is, but it's a brilliant film.
It strikes me as somebody had a script that they took to fucking, I can't even remember, New Line Cinema, and were like, how about we do this? And they were like, yeah, it's really good. We'll put Freddy Krueger in it because then it'll sell. And they were like, do I either acquiesce to this demand or do I continue like basically eating scraps and just never getting my baby published? I get real feelings of that behind
Wasn't
that
that kind
movie.
of a particular habit in that period though, with
I think it was,
the horror genre, where they'd take us? It's not uncommon nowadays.
I mean,
either,
like,
to be fair, but
I know Halloween
especially-
was originally meant to be like an anthology, and people reacted so violently, unhappily about that they were like, "Oh shit, we're bringing Michael Myers back then." But yeah.
Ugh. Although, if they didn't do that, you wouldn't have Halloween Resurrection, and you wouldn't have LL Cool J Kung Fu fighting Michael Myers, a 58-year-old Michael Myers. You know,
was it Rob Zombie who did a remake with Tyler Mane?
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm scared to read up about Tyler Mane because he's a wrestler from the old days and he's probably a monster. But like, from what I know, which is nothing about him, he seems cool. And he played Sabretooth in the first Fox X-Men movie, which I think he did pretty well. He was very fun.
And I think he came back for Deadpool and Wolverine as well.
I haven't seen that yet, but I really do want to, because like my father-in-law came back from seeing it and went, "You'd love it," and I'm like, "Okay."
It's a love letter to the Fox era.
Oh, I was saying to Wib earlier that I watched the first X-Men movie like twice a day for like 2 weeks when I was like a teenager. Well, I was like 11 or 12 when that came out, and I was just like, this is the best thing ever. I've loved X-Men for so fucking long. And then I was like getting shouted at school because I was like, isn't it weird how Mystique isn't like, that's my adopted daughter to Rogue, and people were like, that's not how the movie goes. And I got that shit from X-Men Evolution as well. And I'm like, look, I read the comics, and both of us are being dickheads, but I'm less of a dickhead because I'm me, and I'm going to tell the story way more favorably from my side.
See, recently they've dug into Mystique and Destiny in a big way.
Oh, really?
Well, Destiny's back because the whole Krakoa thing.
Oh, right, yeah, and they've redone it so that Destiny was supposed to be trans, and they were like, they wouldn't pick that up, so they were like, okay, well, let's make it Azazel or whoever. I can't remember.
Well, do you remember when they did bring Azazel in, and they basically gloriously retconned it? So Mystique, her whole thing is they were quite explicit about that. She doesn't just change her appearance; she changes everything down to a genetic level.
So she can become, say, a fertile, like AMAB person.
Yeah. So she and Irene were, because Irene they hired her as a maid at the Wagner residence. And they went to a whole thing where the two of them, they go through cycles. So they really have dug into their relationship.
That's so cool.
These two women have been together since the late 1800s. And because of their particular talents, Mystique is always very fluid anyway because of her mutation does affect her mentally as well, that she's very mercurial. Whereas Irene, because of her ability, because she sees things and has so many probabilities going, sometimes she just needs distractions. So their time together runs in cycles where they'll be together and they will be passionate and they love each other without any hint of a doubt. But they separate and go their own ways, and they've had other relationships and children over the years. And it was actually a really fascinating look into things.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's such an interesting take, especially on like a shapeshift or like someone with Destiny's powers. It's like that's what I want to see explored with that kind of a thing.
Yeah, and Irene had at their last meeting, or the last time they were together, she basically says that she wants to have a child with Raven, and so Raven takes on the form of Azazel.
Oh, that's how they've done it. Okay.
Yeah,
clever.
And Irene carries Kurt. But they dig into a lot of stuff where, so Raven held Kurt first time he opened his eyes in her true form, and she didn't throw him away. She tried to hide him. She went back for Irene, but Irene knew what was happening. And she knew that Kurt needed to grow the way he did, and it gets into this whole thing that eventually they go to Xavier when they meet up next, because Raven's pretty much willing to murder Irene, despite still loving her quite deeply.
That's a very Raven thing
Yeah,
to
and
do.
this-
That's a very
That's
Raven
so
conclusion.
Raven.
That is
Yeah.
so Raven.
Yeah.
Well done.
and it's also on the verge of where they're first going to meet Rogue,
Oh.
because Irene points her out and says, "This girl needs us." So the two of them go to Xavier, and Irene has all memory of Kurt wiped entirely. The whole thing, that whole experience is wiped, which is why Pride of Kurt, Irene has never referenced Kurt in any way. Whereas
Another clever. I'm not going to call it a no prize, but it's similar.
Yeah. Whereas Raven wants to keep the knowledge of Kurt, but not necessarily for relationship, but she also keeps a lot of the anger that she had towards Irene, but it goes a different direction. But there's a wonderful bit where at the end of Krakoa, Xavier kind of breaks the locks where he hid those memories from both of them. Mystique does it kind of mostly on her own because she gets shot in the head, because of course she does.
I mean, if anyone's going to get shot in the head, it's Raven.
Yeah. Irene gets it done separately, and the moment she remembers is genuinely sweet. They even did a whole wedding special with the two of them renewing their vows.
Aww.
For the first time with Kurt as part of the family officially.
Well, I mean, he's like an ordained priest, so he could probably like officiate that wedding.
Kind of, but it's quite funny because Rogue's married to Gambit now, and Mystique
Love that.
and
OP, like OG ship for me right there.
Yeah, but Mystique and Destiny especially both. Destiny despises Remy with a passion. It's quite hilarious.
I mean, Raven fucking hates him too. I mean, it's fair.
They both know that Anna Marie adores him, but they both can't help hating his guts. It's quite hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Kurt added to the mix, where you now have Rogue calling him bro and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there's a great bit at the end because they're holding this renewal in Avengers Mansion, which is now because it's become a hotel owned by Johnny Storm.
Of course,
because he wanted to keep the mansion operating. Yeah. So they invite all these heroes and villains who are still under the Krakoan amnesty because they haven't done anything bad yet. But the hilarious thing is that during the ceremony, it turns out. Well, all right, I won't spoil it, but there's a great bit at the end where Rogue is rolling her eyes and just saying, "Called it. Welcome to a family, bro. These two have been being gay and doing crimes for over 100 years now. Better get used to it." And it's just glorious.
I love it.
It's one of the most fun issues I've read in a long time. So
I need to get back on it. Honestly, I've been out of X-Men comics for so long.
I shall share you a link because I have a directory I keep hold of that I share with people who want to catch up on things. It's as complete as I can make it at the moment.
I've just had one of those weird trains of thought.
You
know how everybody in this film is massive?
Yes.
Now imagine, if you will, something happened on the set of Predator and they all got sent back to like the 1600s.
They would be worshipped as gods.
Yeah.
Well, people were shorter back then.
Yep.
These people would be monsters.
Yep. They literally be that. This is what all those old giants, like stories of giants, come from. That time when the Predator cast got sent back in time.
I just like the idea that the uncanny valley part of your brain exists because Arnold Schwarzenegger traveled back in time to the 1300s.
You mean again? Oh, he's
every time he sneezes, he just travels. Depending on which way he's facing, he either travels forward or backwards in time.
Which way is that? We don't know. He does.
But does he do it clothed or unclothed? Is it a Terminator effect, or does he just time slide?
Yep.
Just yes.
He's fully naked, but he's wearing a very silly hat, like a Paddington Bear hat. And he doesn't. It doesn't happen when he sneezes. That's just something that materializes when he travels.
He travels through time, and wherever he appears, he's got a red hat and a blue duffel coat, and that's it.
Yeah, and just hanging dong underneath that coat, and marmalade sandwiches in a suitcase.
Paddington Bear.
That's where Paddington Bear originally comes from. They just kept shrinking him over the years and making him more bear-like.
Schwarzenegger traveled back to Peru, to medieval Peru.
I need your hat, your coat, and your marmalade sandwiches.
I can't let you take the man's sandwiches, son. This one guy goes, "You forgot to say please," and then putting a cigarette out on Paddington Bear's face. want to watch a recut where it's just like the T800 is Paddington Bear.
Well, have you seen that guy who every day he recuts Paddington to a scene from another film?
Yes.
No, but I've seen the guy who recut like Mr. Blobby into one of the It movies.
Oh
That
my
was
god!
fucking horrific.
I need to see that.
I can't. I'll try and find it for you. But oh my god,
That's terrifying.
It is really really quite frightening.
I mean, he's a terrifying operation as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
as a foreigner, I came to this country and people were like, "Oh, I love Mr. Blobby," and I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with England, man?"
I mean,
what?
we were living in Hong Kong when Blobby came to prominence, and then came back, and it's just like, what the?
It's like I was gone for 5 fucking minutes, and this shit moves in. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, in this country, we are missing those Wiccan practices of worshipping trickster gods. And
yeah, maybe you should bring those back.
And somehow Blobby filled that horrific...
Not with Blobby. Don't bring it back.
No.
Holy shit.
But if you think about stuff like the Wicker Man and all that type of thing, that's what Blobby ended up being. He was
in fairness, we've had Sooty, we've had Gordon the Gopher, Roland Rat. We have a history of worshipping trickster analogues in this country.
Yes.
My husband can't figure out why I think Bagpuss is scary. It is
scary.
It's creepy. Thank you. And he's like, no, it's nice, because that's how my husband sounds. It's nice because it's a little fluffy cat. And I'm like, fuck that cat. Set it on fire. Worst thing ever. It is a demon trying to sneak into your children's minds.
Because it's so slow and everything has got such weird, unweighted weight to it. It always has dream logic to it. It's like if you take Magic Roundabout. Magic Roundabout is
freaky shit.
It feels wrong because of everything's moving in an almost correct way.
Don't like it at all.
I am Zebedee, Lord of the Woods. Come worship me, my spring-legged children.
Hate.
We should have the Rainbow theme tune instead of the Predator theme tune all the way through this.
But with the like the really low kind of like piano do 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 do.
Yeah, you get time to bleed.
That was not the Magic Roundabout.
I was trying to do Bungalow George from Rainbow, to be honest, but that didn't work, did it?
That was pure hick. You've just done a hick version of Predator.
Game over, man.
Boy, you're uglier than my mama and my sister. And here she comes now.
I too have always wanted to hold Arnold Schwarzenegger up by his face and just examine him for a while. It's been a lifelong dream of mine.
So, do you know the story of the Predator suit? Do you know how it came into being? And granted, Stan Winston tells this story, so I'm going to guess he knows better than anyone, but...
Stan Winston. I said Jim Henson earlier because I'm an idiot. I meant Stan. There's the two powerhouses, Jim Henson and the Stan fucking Winston. And I get them confused because, well, I mean, to be fair, they sound similar. Even though Stan Winston tends to do he tended to do way more adult kind of like movies.
I think they did work together though at various points. So it wouldn't have surprised me. But I mean, my understanding is that the first suit didn't work out. So McTiernan.
I know that you said the first suit, but I heard fursuit didn't work out. And I'm like, no, it fucking wouldn't, would it? That's not scary. Pink fox in the middle of Guatemala.
I mean, can you imagine the heat wearing a fursuit in Guatemala? Jesus.
Honestly, like anyone who lives in a hot climate who is a furry has my unending respect because Jesus Christ, I would not be able to do that.
Florida furries are the hardest people known to man. In every conceivable way you can read that sentence.
And I would not want them any other way.
No. Well, if there's no other reason to the furries, the fact that they have managed to be the biggest opponent to facial recognition and
love it.
Huge amounts of capitalistic
absolutely
AI intendants. That's
wonderful. Honestly, I get on really well with furries. I think they're dope as fuck. I love them.
I like anybody who's passionate about their hobbies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your hobby? I mean, yes, you can tell the stories of what happened in that furry convention many, many years ago, but that had very little to do with the actual furries.
Yeah,
more to do with the madder orgy seekers.
No, they're not hurting anyone. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
you clean up after yourself.
As long as you don't have a UV light, you're all
Yeah.
good.
Also, can I just say how much of a fucking bully the Yautja is here? I'm just being like, he's like 2 minutes away from quit hitting yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like the whole kind of like he's trying to get away and then he smacks him and then he's like, that mildly irritated one of my pincers, you idiot. And then speedballs on his face.
Yeah,
Like,
this beating, especially that bit where you just see him
brutal,
just go full spitting up blood, it's just like, wow.
But also, I kind of like, I think personality-wise for the Predator in here, I always kind of saw it as a bit vindictive after Arnie started realizing what trick. So it's like he's looking at the skull going, that's really pretty, but then he's going for mainly face shots, which is very fucking personal. I don't that might be the way I'm interpreting it, but like
he's a big game hunter, and big game hunters hate it when the game fights.
Yeah, well, imagine if you were hunting deer and one of them got up behind you and kicked you in the balls. You'd be like, okay, fucker, new plan. I hit you until you die. So I kind of get the vindictiveness. Yeah. But also like the whole like another thing which I like about having the person in the suit's eyes out is when he feels the spike, he looks at Arnie as if he's like, bro, fucking really?
Yeah.
Okay. You can't do that with fake eyes. And it's so satisfying.
It's
just
such a great shot.
Just like, oh, you thought that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the whole also leading its blood around the wrong way, so it leads him. It's like that's so clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I love that they're very clear about the fact it's not just about the tools. It is a smart.
It is a clever hunter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, I love that. Just sharp stick. Honey, are you for real? No.
All right, motherfucker. I'm now on the other side. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Oh, you have spikes here, do you? He's like, no. But I do have a fucking, was it a dead drop? No, a dead weight?
I do have the
dead fall?
I mean, that is proper Acme, isn't it?
Just, it is,
But it's the fact that it wasn't intended
hits him
as a
in
trap.
the face.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just for dead weight to set off the other trap, which I love. And it just
that is cool.
Like, well, guess we're going to try this.
I remember watching this as a kid, and when just when it pushes the thing off and it's like spitting blood on itself, I felt so bad for it. I was like, oh no, because obviously, with all of my problems, I also suffer from like hyper empathy. So I was like, oh, he's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. He's just a 6'6" little guy who can fucking pick Arnie up by the throat and throw him.
He's just a face molester. Don't hurt him.
Oh, poor little guy. Look at that poor little frijole. Oh no.
The suit, the design for it.
Yes.
So Stan Winston was trying to come up with something after the Jean-Claude Van Damme one failed miserably. And he ended up being on a plane with James Cameron because they were off to do something else. And Cameron just started talking about like crabs and things like that. And it just, Cameron and Winston just went, crabs. Yes.
Crab.
And just started like creating alien creatures based on like how crabs look.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's effective. It's terrifying.
Oh,
I mean, like when what's his name? Pete
Jackson?
Peter Cullen.
Oh,
Peter Cullen. When he came in to do the creature sounds for it, he was like, I need to see a picture. And they were like, no. And he was like, please? And they were like, no. And he's like, well, I need to see what it looks like so I can get a feel for it. And then they show him like a blur and they were like, no, that's not going to work. So then after 5 minutes of they come back and they show him a picture of basically that.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I remember I saw like a horseshoe crab that had died on the beach when I was a kid. So, he's thinking of all these clicks and all these bubbly click kind of like, which that matches perfectly. And I'm just like, the fact that it's like sea life is because it's so fucking frightening anyway.
Yeah.
Also, can we just say Dutch is such a bro that he outruns a nuclear explosion?
Yeah. Finds a convenient tree to hide behind.
Yeah.
He deflects it through sheer willpower.
Yeah. Also, Kevin Peter Hall without the makeup on.
Yay!
Yay! We love him. Love to see it. But yeah, I love how Arnie outran that. As a bodybuilder, you can't run for fucking a meter. I'm sorry.
No.
Speaking as somebody who lifts weights.
I've been watching a few of Arnie's 80s stuff over the last few months.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was Commando especially. There's a sequence where it's almost a oneer where you just see him running. he's so smooth in how he moves, and he's moving quickly with a lot of gear on him as well.
Very impressive, especially
And
for a
this
dude
is-
of his size.
Yeah, and it's like you remember Conan the Destroyer at the start where he jumps onto the stone table.
Was that the one where he was dubbed because his English wasn't as good as they wanted it to be?
No, that's Hercules in New York.
That's thank you. I completely biffed it there.
No, Destroyer was the second Conan film, but at the start he and his partner have been chased by bandits, so he jumps onto a stone table to fight them off because they're on horseback. And the way he moves, it's just like that's not someone who just lifts weight. That's an athlete doing that.
Yeah,
that takes.
Well, the first Terminator film, there's a sequence where he runs in that, and it's so
fluid,
otherworldly. You know, it doesn't feel right, and it took me years to work it out. And it's because a guy of that size
shouldn't
should
move
not
that
be
fast.
or that smoothly. You know, it's a very, very weird and oiled movement he does to speed up. And
also, fun tidbit about Terminator 2. I don't know if I've already said this, but Robert Patrick ran track for quite a long time.
Yes.
So when he's chasing John out of the mall, he kept catching him on the bike, and they were like, fuck, okay. That's the future gone. Also, this weird like like
what is this
ending
sitcom ending
sequence? It is. It's it's so. If you like showed this to someone, you'd be like, okay, you recut this to make it look stupid. And it's like, no, this is just how it was. They couldn't get one of Arnie smiling because that would be soy. Dear. Yeah, oh god, what a good fucking movie!
I love this movie.
I love this movie so much.
So good.
Same.
And it's 45 minutes of near perfection because it's like 35 minutes an act, more or less.
Yeah.
And each one is just so well done in their own right. You got the infiltration, you got the escape, you got the final showdown, and each one just so.
I mean, they play it so straight faced as just not a sci-fi movie, not a sci-fi slasher movie, essentially.
Absolutely.
And it's like there's so many moments of this that are kind of like horror movie, and it's like, how did you manage to get it so perfectly balanced?
Yeah,
it's like an equinox of just being fucking awesome.
Yeah, and the perfect cast as well.
Absolutely, not one problem with the casting at all. Absolute perfection.
Gruff, what's made you go?
So there's somebody in the special effects team called Jesus Duran, and that automatically jumps out at me. But then every other person on the special effects team appears to be called Duran.
And so Peter Cullen there, very low down vocalizations by Peter Cullen.
I'm just waiting for it. I'm just taking it back. Just hopefully I'll see it again. Because obviously it feels like the entire Duran family turned up to do the special effects.
I mean, good on them. They did great.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. You got Jesus Duran, I'm assuming that's Jesus, Fermin Duran, and Adrian Duran, Alexandrio Duran. Then underneath that, you've got Daniel Cordeo, Manuel Cordeo. Just people's families turned up to do the special effects.
Look, here's Richard and Robert Greenberg there as well.
This is
trying to bring, love it.
This is like the movie version of a town market, isn't it? Just everyone brought the children along.
It reminds me of I saw a person do it. It was like on my Instagram reels. There was an Irish guy doing stand up. And he's doing crowd work, so he says, "This woman is like, oh, what's your name?" And she's like, she speaks and she's Irish, and it turns out they're cousins. And it's like, oh, is your nan Deirdre fucking whatever? And she's like, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, we went to this school, and I'm like, oh my god. And I told that to Wib, and he was like, that's just what being Irish is.
Yeah, that's the most that's the most Irish thing to happen ever.
I thought it was absolutely incredible. So fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of incredible, this movie, absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's one of those films I've bought multiple times.
I've got I have it on VHS. I have it on like 3 different DVDs.
Yeah,
I have like I was watching a bit of it before before we actually started recording. I literally got to the point where they just like Hawkins had just died, and I was like, oh shit, time to go record a podcast about Predator. That interrupts me watching Predator, and then I go and watch Predator.
We know what you can do now. Then you can go back and start watching again from that point.
I left it in the PS3 ready for me to go back to. It's like once every like couple of months or so, I'll have like a drink and go, you know what? I'm gonna watch Terminator 2 again. And then I go, I fucking love Terminator 2 so much. Yeah. It's my favorite movie. And then I go, you know what I haven't seen for a while? Terminator. And then I go watch Terminator. Because while it's good, it cannot match up to Terminator 2.
Well, the problem there is that Terminator 2 expands everything out and is in of itself a perfect movie.
It is.
Yeah, there is very little fat to trim away from it. It is just a constant perfect movie.
It is.
And
perfect casting again, by the way. Yes. Absolutely perfect casting in that.
Miles Dyson and the man who drives the little shack truck are two people who have lived in my brain for 3 decades, as they just didn't deserve it.
No,
I like little ACAB kid. He's great. Like John Connor's buddy with the with the ginger mullet. I'm like, yeah, like fucking, and like the whole like,
that kid started a new metal band in later life. I'm telling you,
he better have done.
Yeah, for a bit of a T-1000 goes up to him and just says, "Seen this kid?" He's like, "Nope."
No, I don't know him. And then just slinks away like the easiest thing. He's like, "Hey kids, always lie to cops."
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love that so much. And like, it's like I love like the fancier editions, because I've got the fancy blue, like my husband bought me like the big fancy Blu-ray remastered like edition, where they've got really good at tracking the slow jump with the big fucking bike into the storm drain ravine or whatever it is. And they've like frame by frame keyed Arnold's face over the stunt actor, because you can really fucking see, because that's what the DVDs it's a lot worse done. But
and
yeah, and
yet, no one's gone back to the original Turtles movie and taken the guy's face in Donatello's mouth out of it.
I don't want them to. It adds to it. They're mutants. They're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's somehow got some human DNA in there, but it is the New York like sewer system, so let's just not go that far.
Yeah.
And I am convinced it's the same guy that played Boba Fett in the third Star Wars movie.
Jeremy. It
was one of the effects guys.
Yeah,
I think, who wore the suit for most of.
I don't know. They've got a very similar mustache, and it freaks me out.
Jeremy.
Jeremy Bullock was Fett in Empire, and bits of Jedi.
Yeah. Because it's fun seeing Boba Fett with his helmet off, and he's just got like those big 70s fucking like aviator glasses and a huge ash. And you're like, I love it how that's somebody's dad. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not making fun of it. I'm just like, especially Tamira Morrison, like an incredibly beautiful man who's like the most intensely scary, starey man as well. And then just like some fucking guy.
Yeah. That is funny.
When he showed up in the prequel films, I was like, I know you. What were you on? And he was on it was a Australian
he was on
opera.
It was a New Zealand hospital drama.
That's the one. Yep.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Just as Boba Fett.
Yes.
Street.
Yeah, he just show up and just like shoot people and pop them in carbonite and just leave.
Into carbonite, into the back of my ambulance. Bye.
Bye.
I just love that Tem seems like the most chill dude imaginable.
He does seem super cool.
Yeah, I still would love to see Danny Malone get a chance to come back as Boba at some point, as a younger version, because he equally loves the character.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But hey ho.
Yeah, Predator's good. What the shit? How dare they?
Yeah. If you've not seen it before, go see it. If you haven't, I hope you've listened to this and been infused. Or
because literally, like, as we would like just the podcast. If you've listened to this podcast, then you've seen the movie.
Yeah,
it's like there's Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's Mr. Blobby in the jungle. It is there for some reason.
I'm sure someone's done an edit to that effect, which frankly is going to give me nightmares.
It just kills Jesse Ventura.
You are one ugly motherfucker.
Blobby.
Blobby, blobby, blobby.
And then just walk. Oh my god! I would watch like Mr. Blobby walking through the weird kind of like the end kind of like confrontation between Dutch and the Predator, and just like walking through all these traps, like catching them on his arm and like triggering all these like log like drops and stuff just without realizing.
Just dragging Noel Edmonds' dead corpse behind him.
Using that as a blunt weapon.
Yeah.
Oh god. And the eyes kind of going weird when he notices that Arnie's trying to lure him through a spike trap.
One of the best is Blobby's eyes are they're giant.
He'd have to turn around really quick, like it'd be like a TV novella. He'd be like turn around and his eyes would wobble.
Yeah,
and
he just do one of those spin takes and his eyes just go.
Yeah,
but the eyes light up, but it's only the wobbly bits that light up, so you just get these like weird wobbling pits of light in the darkness.
To be fair, now that you're saying, I think that Blobby is scarier than the Predator design.
Yes.
Oh no.
That's because the Predator's a hunter. Blobby is a trickster god sent to torment humanity.
The Predator is a hunter, whereas Mr. Blobby kills for the joy of it. It's the only way it can get an erection.
Mr. Blobby kills for the sexual relief.
Yeah. Oh god!
See, this gives a whole other
kills Billy and just has a cigarette afterwards.
This puts a whole other spin on Blobbyland.
Oh god! Blobbyland is predators. Someone came to that fucking studio with like Blobbyland, and they went, "Great, can we put the Predator in there instead? It's less frightening."
Can we put Jimmy Savile in there instead? It's less frightening.
Oh Jesus Christ! I've been hit by a car and been less afraid than I have when I saw fucking Mr. Blobby. I swear to God.
Fair, more than fair.
Has anyone tried that actually, hitting like Mr. Blobby with a car?
You know, I think you say getting hit by a car to get away from Mr. Blobby. No, I haven't tried that recently.
Well, yeah, because then if you're like near death, it's taken out half the fun because it likes getting you to that point. So,
yeah.
Hostel was actually a true story based on like the Mr. Blobby resort that they did in Magaluf.
Everyone's got the little blobby tattoos.
Note to self: don't go checking YouTube for people editing Mr. Blobby into horror movies. Please don't.
I will post one in the chat later, but because it's quite distressing actually. Because I've seen the new It, and I'm like, that was unsettling that kid got chased by a freaky clown. You replace it with Mr. Blobby, and I'm like, I can't sleep ever. Cool. Every time I close my eyes, I see that. Thank you.
Or It, but you replace the creature with Tim Curry from Cluedo.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've found the YouTube video.
You found it?
No.
It is genuinely unsettling.
I told you.
Oh my God, that's wrong.
It's like, because they keep up with the very frenetic kind of camera work, the very panicked, shaky kind of cam. And the tracking for Blobby is weirdly well done, and they give it fangs, which probably makes it less scary.
Oh God.
No. I don't know if I want to watch this or not.
Do you want to watch it with us here so we can make you feel safer?
Oh
Maybe?
God, the mouth.
I have such sights to show you.
Oh no, I've just got to the balloon bit. Nope. Nope. Dislike intensely.
Snipe, I hope you're happy with yourself. You've just traumatized
Thrilled.
Oh God, they did the eyes. They managed to make the eyes. No, I'm not going to follow for more. Don't you tell me what to do.
Follow for more. No. It's like, comment, subscribe for me to come to your house and hit you with something. Like, no, I don't want that.
Jesus Christ.
I told you it was scary.
Oof.
Oh,
that's the perfect place for me to leave now.
I think that's
probably
wise.
for the best. Yeah.
We should probably wrap this up because we're going to traumatize ourselves and the listeners even more at this point, I suspect. But on which note, I want to say thank you ever so much to both Mr. Gruff and for the lovely Snipe for joining me today. This has
been a hell of a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yes, this has been absolutely brilliant. I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's always a laugh.
Yes.
It was my best Billy laughing. Did you like it? It's the best I could do. I'm not as good as the Predator at mimicry. God, I'm getting negged. No, that's not what that word means. I'm getting bullied. There we go.
Yeah, I can laugh at deep, but then I just go. It just stops after a while because I just lose my vocal cords.
I've just realised how much Billy laughing sounds like. Oh shit! No,
One of those wobble boards.
No, Pineapple Express. Actor.
Oh no!
What's he called? He was the voice of Donkey Kong. Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Billy laughing sounds like Seth Rogen.
Oh god.
Who, of course, sounds like a diuretic gorilla.
Well, I mean, good casting then.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong gets scalped by the Predator. And it's just a skull with a vertebrae and the tie is still there.
Still good his eyes and brain, though. He can feel every moment.
God almighty.
Nintendo versus Predator. It's just the Predator taking on Mario and Donkey Kong and all the various.
I just want to see Luigi smear himself in mud. Just get ready to fight the Predator.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
On which note, dear listener, we're probably going to leave you as is. I hope you are suitably unsettled by that thought. On which note, folks, where could people find you if you're so inclined to let them track you down?
Arkham, after all that.
Well,
it's Blackgate now, but yeah.
I'm just going to spend my days sitting here trying not to think about Mr. Blobby.
Good luck. Half of Arkham patients are literally like all of their like Rorschach like tested as Mr. Blobby. It keeps them insane, you know.
More Mr. Blobby into Arkham Asylum.
Oh god. It's like Killer Croc in the Arkham. They have like an entire wing devoted to containing the fuck. You can find me at Sniper Sorrow pretty much anywhere, and at Sniper and Web on YouTube for all of your Warhammer 40k needs, I suppose. Seamless.
As for me, you can find all of the Fluff and Hammer stuff at fluffandhammer.com. We are on Twitter, we are on Blue Sky, we are on Threads, we are on Instagram. There is an article that comes out every single goddamn day, and my hairline knows it. Every single goddamn day. Is this what you want?
Is the article, it's not even 40k related, it's just how short is my hairline now? Daily updates.
Well, today was a review of Dredge Runners. That's what went up today.
How am I not following you on Instagram? God damn.
Don't know.
There we go. I'm so bad with my socials. So.
To be honest with you.
I found a whole load of socials I hadn't followed, and I was just like, why am I not following these people?
To be fair, I only follow people when they follow me, usually.
Follow for follow.
I'm bad for that. I use socials to get the stuff out there, and then I just live my little antisocial life.
That's fair.
As for myself, you can find my personal stuff on adnickel.weebly.com, where you can get everything from the We Can Remember It For You wholesale audiobook production that I've done, right the way through to Pig Iron, my first ever proper book. And I am slowly but surely entering the final stages now of having an actual game released.
Yay!
So don't give you a title to change a game.
If they fucking do it to me again, I'm screaming, and I won't stop screaming. I will never stop screaming. Because fuck me, that.
Oh, dude.
I had to go right back to fucking bedrock because of that.
Brutal.
On the upside, it made all of us laugh. So.
Good. Yeah. There's a reason.
Good. Gritted teeth. I love that. That's great for you.
There's a reason I'm not painting my Chaos Dwarfs anytime soon.
Oh, honey, yes, I get that.
Because the moment I do, I know what'll happen. They'll fucking release them.
Yep.
Bye.
Adam's relationship to Games Workshop is complicated, I think it's the safest to say.
I think that's fair.
He just needs to bribe Jojo more. Then he'll stop telling him.
The sounds of a sane man.
Yeah. On which note, folks, thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful day. And we'll see you again soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.